Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, September 14th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the number 9 Oregon Ducks versus the Oregon State Beavers. Kickoff is going to be here in roughly 10 to 15 minutes. And not only are we going to do coverage on Oregon State for the Civil War, even though they decided to kind of move away from that name, it's still going to be called the Civil War from anyone that's living in the Pacific Northwest. But we're going to also get coverage of the Apple Cup, Washington versus Washington State. And that one is on Peacock. So I got that on the big TV here in the studio. I got the Duck game on here right in front of me as well. So we're going to be double dipping, covering the Huskies and the Cougs, the Beavers and the Ducks. I was actually hoping that the Apple Cup would be on a little bit later, and it's a little weird because normally this is the last regular season game in the Pac-12 for both of our teams, but the Pac-12 doesn't exist for Oregon anymore. Obviously Oregon State and Washington State were a part of the big Pac-2, and they added 4 teams that'll come in a couple years. And I imagine once they end up, going from 2 to 6, 6 will get to 10, 10 will get to 12. And then eventually they'll probably get to 16 at some point, but baby steps. But I'm definitely excited because, again, we don't really know what we're going to get out of these teams. Oregon State, Washington State, because again, normally we play when the weather is cold. It's in November. It's the last regular season game until you end up going into the Pac-12 championship or a bowl game. So again, to be playing this early in the season, since Oregon State is part of the Pac-2, maybe now in that Pac-12 conference, now Oregon and as well as USC, Washington, and UCLA are part of the Big Ten. It's a little different. It's still getting a little bit, of time to get used to it. But I'm definitely excited about the matchup. And then after I'm done here tonight, depending on how I feel, because I've been a little bit under the weather last night, obviously with a little bit of a stomach bug, but I feel a little bit better today. And then after we finish this matchup, depending on how I feel, we may end up doing the Rangers and the Mariners later tonight. And then tomorrow we got the Lions and the Bucks in the morning at 10 a.m. I may or may not do that, but we definitely are going to be doing the Bears versus the Texans on Sunday night. And I'm going to try to pump out a couple reaction videos on Sunday afternoon if I have the time, as well as Monday and Tuesday. So this is definitely going to be one of the busiest times of the year, but I'm very excited for the opportunity. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Ducks. We got to make sure we get the vapor carbons out. Let's go, baby. And I'm rocking one of my favorite jerseys, if not my favorite jersey. I love the green apple jerseys. And unfortunately, when you have a green screen, I would say 90% a lot of my Duck gear is green apple. And unfortunately, if you got a lot of green or a lot of yellow, it goes transparent and you can't wear it on stream, unfortunately. So again, I'll have a lot of my promo photos for, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter/X that might have me in the apple green. But again, this one that I got on right now, the LaMichael James sewn natty jersey from 2010 with the matching gloves that I actually just showed you. And I got James sewn on the back. So it's got literally every single piece to make it the most authentic jersey, including the patch. Let's go. I'm ready. And it was either going to come down to this jersey or my Joey Harrington throwback, from 2000, 2001. But again, I'll probably save the Joey Harrington jersey as we go into further weeks into the season. Washington State, they just kicked off. And I'm very excited to be able to watch both of these at the same damn time. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Let's go, baby. How are you, Garden? And again, we're going to have to see if Dylan Gabriel will have enough time with the O-line. Again, the O-line has been a big issue. We can make the big plays, but again, this is kind of a trap game for the Oregon Ducks based on how we played in the first 2 weeks. I know we can get better. Again, we have those explosive players, just like you saw on the thumb with Tez Johnson. I decided to throw him the thumbnail and give Dylan Gabriel. Obviously, we'll go alternate back and forth. And then we got the Beavers quarterback, Giovanni McCoy. So we don't really know what we're going to be getting in here this afternoon, but hopefully Oregon will be able to impose their will. And at the end of the day, we can end up being 3-0, and we can move up in the rankings instead of winning games and going behind in the rankings. But definitely, this is a trap game, and Oregon State has kind of owned Oregon in the last couple years. So if the Beavers ended up beating the Ducks today, would I be really that shocked? No, based on how we played in the first two games, but hopefully we're able to, clean up some of the mistakes on the O-line, give Dylan Gabriel enough time to go through his progressions. The running backs and wide receivers do their job, but we're also going to need excellent play out of the defense and the special teams. That's going to be just as important as the O-line, and hopefully we can bring all those things together, and then at the end of the night, we can celebrate an Oregon Duck win. Unless you're a Beaver fan, then obviously you're going to be going go Beavs like my boy Marcos, who's a big Beaver fan, as well as my boy Jake. So again, a lot of little banter this morning, and I get it with Washington State and Washington, a little bit of banter there as well. And obviously Washington State is 2-0. The Cougs, the Huskies are 2-0. And it's definitely going to be exciting here today. Little screen pass for the Cougs, and the play is blown dead. Jam Griffin leads the team with 124.5 rushing yards this season. Got to watch out for him. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. And again, it's weird, again, that this game is on not only at this time, but it's so early in the season, but we're not in the same conference anymore. But again, I feel like Oregon State should always be played, just like Washington State, even if we, have one team in the Big Ten, Oregon, Washington, and one team in the Pac-12, Washington State and Oregon State. They need to keep the rivalry going. It may not, have as much bad blood because we're not in the same conference, but we are in the same state. So we want to make sure that, obviously, since we don't have a pro NFL team here, a lot of people are either Ducks, Beavers, right when they're born. You're a Blazer fan or you're not, or maybe you're a Mariner fan because it's up north. But again, there's only a few teams that you can really kind of connect with. The Portland Winterhawks, if you're looking for WHL, obviously the Blazers, if you love NBA, but we don't have a baseball team, so we don't got a Mariners here in Oregon. We don't have a pro NFL team, obviously Seahawks up north. We don't have a hockey team, Kraken, obviously up north. So we'll see where it goes, but hopefully we end up balling out here today. Let's go. And hopefully I feel good enough to stream later tonight because obviously I want to make sure that if I'm up for it health-wise, and, I don't want to, leave Paisley alone too long in the day, but as long as I'm feeling good enough, there is a possibility that I haven't made the thumbnail yet for the Mariner matchup against the Rangers, but that would only take me about 30 to 45 minutes to do. So after this is over, I would still have a couple hours to take Paisley on a long walk, make another thumbnail, and then we might be back at it here later tonight. Let's go, baby. All right, baby. I'm ready. Let's go, baby. Go Ducks. And we haven't hated on the Beavers, and I got them a spinning logo as well. So whoever has the ball will have their significant logo there in the top right. That's what will determine ball possession. So Beavers spinning logo, dope. And then you got the Oregon Duck logo, which might be one of the better ones on the channel, just for the fact that it goes from Oregon Ducks into the O automatically. That's the only logo that I have that does something like that. Nice little screen pass by the Cougs on 3rd down and 4. First down, Cougars. But it's kind of cool that these are on at the same time, even though I wanted to have my full focus, just on one game, and was hoping that the Husky Cougs would be on later tonight. I could watch at the same time with the Mariner game, but I guess we're going to have to watch both of these at the same damn time. But I'm always up for challenges, and it's kind of better, instead of Oregon being the, top, number 3 team. And of course, one day we'll be there and we'll actually, get a record to what we really are, but we're not going to be in that Georgia, Ohio State, type of category yet. And there will be a time where we're blowing out teams left and right, by 20, 30, 40 points. But this year, even though that we might have been overrated, as based off number coming in, right? A lot of the games are going to be super competitive, which is going to bring more eyeballs to either, root for the Ducks to lose, or to see if the Ducks can find a way, to turn things around, knowing that, losing Bo Nix and Troy Franklin and Jackson Powers Johnson and many, many others, Bucky Irving, it shows you how deep and what kind of leadership that we actually had on this roster last year. You just can't, all of a sudden overnight have this great team and then all of a sudden the next wave is going to be just as good, until you end up winning a championship. And then, like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, then it might be the case. But with Oregon, even though we got Uncle Phil and we got the Nike money, that still doesn't mean every single top tier athlete is going to come to Oregon, even though they do love the helmets and the unis and the cleats and the socks and all that. So we give them, you look good, you feel good, you play good, but there's still going to be a lot of competitiveness on a lot of these other schools, to kind of see what they can do. So again, we're number 9. We started off the year number 3, won a game against Idaho, went down to number 7, won that game, obviously, last week, and dropped down to number 9. It might be the only school in college football that ended up being 2-0, but dropped in the rankings twice, but deservedly so. And again, hopefully we can, firm things up, and hopefully this is a wake-up call for Dan Lanning to realize that offensive line is going to be one of the most important things for this team. We're always going to recruit, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and we're going to get better and better on the defensive side of the ball since Dan Lanning is an expert on that side, coming from Georgia as their defensive coordinator and winning a natty, right? But offensive line, it shows if you don't got a good one, it doesn't matter who your quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight ends are. You're going to be in a lot of trouble, even against lower tier teams. And we've seen the Oregon Ducks struggle quite a bit, against Idaho and Boise State. But on the flip side, Boise State is actually going to be a pretty good team this year. And Genty might end up being the best running back in the country. So for the simple fact that, that team is good, they're probably going to be more than likely a top 30 team all year. They should crack into the top 25 and stay there for a chunk of the year, you would assume. And if everything goes well with Genty, that might end up being the first running back coming out in the draft. Obviously, we know Jonah Coleman from the Huskies is another really good one. But again, to be able to try to minimize the damage, with Jam Griffin and company, and seeing if we can get McCoy on his back. And obviously, they don't have DJU anymore. He obviously transferred to Florida State, and he's having his own struggles there. So maybe the Beavers are happy about that. And again, this should be a very competitive matchup here between the number 9 Oregon Ducks and the Oregon State Beavers. Let's go, baby. But again, I got a lot of friends, that are Beaver fans. And again, I'm not a typical, Mariner, Duck, Blazer, Buck. I'm not a typical, sports fan, Mariners, Kraken. I really do, appreciate the greatness. And obviously I love rivalries and whatnot. But again, I like to appreciate greatness for what it is. But again, I don't really have that bias like maybe a lot of people did, when they were younger, or maybe currently right now. So this is the 128th meeting. Oregon leads the series 68, 49, and 10. First meeting before November was 1945. First non-conference matchup since 1963, since we transitioned into the Big Ten. So let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Let's go, baby. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We got about half of the people in the room that have done it. Let's try to get to 10 within the first 30 minutes, 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And we'll always be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, Ducks. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health, addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that not only I've gone through, but I know some of y'all have gone through it too. So if you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, make some adjustments to your daily routine. Exercise if you're not exercising. Eat a little bit healthier if you're eating too much fast food. Listen to 30 minutes of music. Spend time with friends, family, and pets. And if you do these basic things, you'll come out the other side and you'll be able to win the day. All right, Ducks about to kick off to the Beavers here. Let's go, baby. And we got Cougs and the Huskies knotted up at 0. Got that on here in the TV in the studio as well. We're double dipping, baby. Let's go. And here we go. Transfer from Idaho. Let's go. Ooh, Jordan Walker went yard. Nice. All right, first down and 10. Shotgun set. Hand off to Jam Griffin, but there's a flag on the play right out of the gates. False start on the offense. Great start for the Beavs for us. I'll take that. Alfieri, the tight end, with the false start. Well, Dylan Gabriel isn't a pure passer like Bo Nix was last season. He's more of like a Tebow, kind of short and intermediate throws, and then he can run. But again, every once in a while he'll throw deep, but not as smooth or accurate as Bo Nix. Shotgun set. Ooh, almost intercepted. What happened to my hands? Bryce Benter with the almost interception there on that play. Jordan Birch, Harmon. Let's go, baby. Mateo, Nasa, Bryce. Let's go. Jabbar Muhammad, we need you, baby. Johnson, let's go, baby. Second down and 15. McCoy. Betcher again, baby. Let's go. Pass incomplete by Giovanni McCoy. Third down and 15. Come on, Ducks. Defense is off to a good start here on the road. Third and 15. Shotgun set for McCoy. Pressure coming up the middle. Get his ass. Get him. Missed tackle. Go, go, go. Uh-oh, Beavers. McCoy bouncing it to the outside. A big gain. First down, Beavers. Move the chains. Wow. That was huge. I'm not sure if there was any flags on that play, if there was any holding. I don't think so. Or at least nothing that was drawn on the field, but that was an amazing play. But then now there is a flag on the play. Hopefully that's holding. Can we get a holding, please? Ooh, personal foul on the offense. Hell yeah. Yeah, baby. Beaver fans boo, but we love that. That's coming back. That was a huge gain, too. 42-yard gain. Coming back, baby. Oregon State shooting themselves in the foot here early. Allen in the building. What's good, Allen? How are you? We damn boys in the building. Big matchup with the Saints this weekend. Can't wait to watch that and do a reaction video to those highlights. That one could go either way. McCoy for a 42-yard gain, but a penalty for a personal foul will bring them all the way back. First down and 10, and off to Jam Griffin, and smothered by the Ducks. There we go. And we're still knotted up at 0 in the Apple Cup, Washington State and Washington. Shotgun set bootleg for the Cougs. Incomplete. Let's go, baby. Love these gloves, man. Second down and 7. On the Oregon State 45. McCoy looking for a man. Got an opening. First down, Beavers. Move the chains. Nice play there for Oregon State. Everybody going right. Then we bootleg left. The tight end slips free. That's a beautiful play by the Beavers right there. Maybe something that Oregon should be looking into. Pass complete to Bryce Caulfield for 15 yards to the Oregon 40. First down, Beavers. That's a good question. He went to the Seahawks game against the Broncos, but I don't know. He didn't message me if he's there today or not. And I know his work schedule was a little off too, where he might be working nights. So I'm not sure if he's there. Oh, pass tipped, incomplete. What happened to my hands? McCoy had a little bit extra heat on that pass. Second down and 10 on the Oregon 40. But a good drive so far for the Beavs. Yeah, and obviously Dak and CD and the Cowboys play much better at home than they do on the road. You didn't really see the full potential of the Cowboys against the Browns on the road. So I assume that the Saints defense will be tough, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Nice fake with a little play action. Taz Reddix with the catch and just close to the first down marker. Are they going to give it to him? What are we looking at? 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches, or a first down? Let's take a look. But I went for a long walk with Paisley this morning, and first down, Beavers. And again, the last day and a half has been really miserable for me, but I feel like I'm kind of turning the corner. I don't know if it was just like a 48-hour bug or flu, but that's what it seems like it is. And I've had a couple of those over the years, but first down and 10 on the Oregon 30. Handoff, gain of a yard. Second down and 9 on the Oregon 29. Yeah, if anyone drops CMC, that's stupid. Most people that have CMC in the draft can't win games without him. I'm going to be able to try to win as many games without him, and I'm not really worried about it. You just have to make sure you did a good draft. But, CMC being on the wire for another or on the IR for another 4 weeks is not a big deal if you drafted well. Now, if you didn't draft well, then you might be fucked. But, yeah, anytime you can grab CMC, even if you got to wait 4 or 5 games. I mean, I got Nick Chubb that's not going to be ready until October, as well as CMC. But, I'm still, doing just fine. Picked up Mason, obviously CMC's backup, got Charbonnet, obviously filling in with Walker, and I got plenty of other running backs like Ford, Pollard, and a few others that if I need to dip in there. But yeah, if someone is dumb enough to drop CMC, yeah, definitely put him on your IR or your bench and just wait a few weeks. And then when he comes back, he's going to put up 20 to 30 points or higher on every game. And that's a big fucking deal. The Madden curse is a little real. Nice tackle by the Ducks. CMC and Saquon, nice. And you won't be able to use CMC for a month, but it's only going to be a month. He'll be ready, probably around week 5, week 6. And remember, it's a long fucking season. For fantasy football, you might be, going into the regular season until week 14, championship week 15 or 16, or it might be 17 and 18. So missing the first 5 or 6 weeks and having CMC for 10 or 11, yeah, I mean, even 8 to 10 weeks of CMC is going to be awesome. So, yeah. So whoever that was in your league obviously is an idiot, because you don't release a player of that caliber, especially if you picked him first overall, and you just let him go. That pretty much means that guy doesn't know anything about fantasy football whatsoever. Shame on that person, but good for you to be able to pick him up. You always have an injury, right? And if a guy has value and it's not season ending, you always put him on the bench or IR. You never let him go. That's the number one rule. 43-yard attempt here on 4th and 6. Kick is up for the Beavs, and it's blocked, baby. Hell yeah. There we go. Great defense and great stop by the Ducks. And again, that could have been a drive where the Beavers got 6. They had a false start and a few penalties early, but again, that kick was way too low in the trajectory there. But again, this is kind of a trap game for Oregon, but I know we're focused. And again, if you're not 100% on point, you're not going to beat Oregon. And again, also that you don't have Jonathan Smith anymore. He left, and then the program lost a lot of their high-end prospects that ended up leaving with him. to either Michigan State or transferred to another school. So again, even with all the losses that Oregon State had, they still got enough athletes there to make it interesting. Cougs up 3-0 on the Huskies. There we go, close to a first down. You got Tua as your backup. Yeah, I mean, I would look to see who else is on your wire. I wouldn't keep him on my team, because again, he might come back. But again, one more big concussion. And, if there's someone that's, on the Tua level, yeah, I would swap, because again, Tua might be able to, come back. But the next time he has a concussion, his career might be done, which is maybe this year or next year. And it might be over completely. So again, I don't feel. Unfortunately, the people that drafted Tyreek and Waddle could have not predicted this, and again, the quarterbacks that they have now are not going to be able to get those guys the ball. So if you do have Tyreek and Waddle also, you have to have a game plan. You have to make sure you're scooping up extra wide receivers on the wire. So that way that, if the production doesn't improve at quarterback, which I highly doubt it will, unless Miami picks up or trades for a player. Like if they can get like a Joe Flacco over there, it's not like they're going to get Tom Brady out of retirement, but if they can get somebody, to come over there, long pass for the Huskies, touchdown, Washington. Or was he out of bounds? Oh, I think he was in. Nice. Huskies with the long touchdowns from Will Rogers. That was beautiful. Rogers is hella good too. I don't think people realize. Giles Jackson, 20-yard TD. 7-3 Huskies. I don't know. Tannehill's washed. He's too old. Again, they need to figure out someone, to be able to plug and play there. But, but scooping up extra wide receivers that are on the wire now, before it gets too late, that would be my, my suggestion. Because if I had those type of players, you always have to, be 1 week in advance, and you always want to be one step ahead of the curve. That's why for me, I'm on the fantasy app about 4 hours a day. I'm looking at my team. I'm looking at my bench, and I'm trying to make sure I have the best starting unit and the best bench in the league. Then I'm looking at all the rivals like Captain Oreo and Reflect and everyone else. And then I'm looking at the wire. I'm looking at every position. I'm clicking on all the names, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, kicker. I'm looking at my schedule, seeing when my, weakest week is. So if I have a lot of guys on a bye, I can prepare for that. So again, you want to make sure that you're, looking at those particular players. But also remember, if you look at Kirk, and Trevor Lawrence, I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to be the player that he was last year. D-Hop was injured in game number 1, right? And he only played like 15 snaps. And I know Levis stinks, but again, that's really like one of the only options they have since Henry is gone. So I think to me, that's more value. And with Lockett, you got JSN and you got DK, but since Kenneth Walker is out, Lockett is a guy that can get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he can end up getting 60, 70, 80, 90 yards and a touchdown. So for me, I think, like I told you this morning, I think D-Hop and Lockett have more value than Kirk. I wouldn't roster Kirk in my own team. But again, if you believe in him and you believe in Trevor Lawrence, you're an AFC fan. A lot of times people lean towards AFC players if you're a fan of that conference. But again, if it's me and I got Tyreek and I seen what happened with Tua, you're going to want to make sure you're looking at the actual rankings of the players. Don't look at name recognition. Look at the ranking. Are they ranked 20th, 30th, 50th? And look to see like how many snaps they played, how many targets. You want to be able to look at the averages, how many points, how many targets, to give yourself the best fit. And hopefully it works out with you with Kirk, but I don't know about the Jags and Trevor Lawrence this year. I mean, even ETN is having a bad year, and even the backup is getting more looks than him. So I know it's only week 1 and things could change, but we'll see. There we go, baby. Nice throw from Dylan Gabriel. First down, Ducks. But obviously the Steelers D, perfect. So now you got a couple Ds that, are in the top 10. And again, I'm always going to try to be able to. Tez Johnson, baby. There we go. First down, Ducks. And he gets blasted. Nice job, Tez. I got you on the thumb for a reason today over Gabriel. Gabriel last week, Tez this week. Let's go. Nice job, Tez. First down, Ducks. Hell yeah. No, I don't think it was a fluke. I think it was the right team with the right players and the right scheme, and again, it's a team effort, and again, you got to look at where the Jags were, worst team in football for 2 years, and he turned it around. But again, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now you're in a division with the Colts and AR and CJ Stroud, adding all those pieces like Mixon, as well as Stephon Diggs with Tank Dell and Nico Collins. So even though that he's got them competing with three, the only team in the division that sucks is the Titans. It's a 3-team race between the Colts, obviously, and the Texans and the Jags. But Kez again, there we go. First down, Ducks. There we go, Kez. But I wouldn't say Doug is a fluke. I think that was the right coach at the right time, and you also had the right coordinators with Dougie, to make it happen. There we go, Tez. First and goal, shotgun set on the Oregon 7. Floater. Evan Stewart with a catch. We like that. Second and goal. I'm still a little bit under the weather and whatnot, but I feel a lot better than I did yesterday. Second and goal. And trust me, Sarah, you know me. Like, I haven't finished lower than third in any league. I don't give bad advice. I give, advice on, what I would do if it was my team and what I would do to make my team better. So no one's going to research or watch more film than me. Touchdown, Ducks. There we go, baby. Jordan James, baby. Hell yeah. 6-0 Ducks. But again, Tyler Lockett, sometimes on the depth chart, will be 2. Sometimes he'll be 3 with JSN. But the bottom line is Tyler Lockett's got the best hands on the team between JSN and DK. DK is the most popular, right? But again, if he doesn't get that big play, sometimes his fantasy numbers are going to be low, like 4, 6, 7, unless he ends up having 2 touchdowns or he gets 80-plus yards and then he has 15 to 20 points. But sometimes he doesn't make the big play, right? JSN has got the deep threat, and sometimes he'll have big numbers, and other times he'll have like 5 to 9. But with Tyler Lockett, the reason I like him is that even if he's not the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 option, he's the check down guy. He's the guy that they can rely on. Extra point is up, and it's good. 7-0 Ducks. So a guy that can get, he played like 54% of the snaps, coming off a little bit of an injury, ended up having the game-sealing catch one-handed, and he went 6 for 7. He doesn't drop in the red zone. He's a guy that's got secure hands. So again, if you're looking at a guy that can get you 10 points with upside to get you 15 to 20, and if he ends up scoring a couple touchdowns, it'll be 22 to 30. It's not going to be a lot. Like last year, he only scored like 5 times, but I think he can score more than 5 this year. And even if he doesn't get in the end zone, if he gets like 70 yards and he gets 6 for 7 in catches with a PPR, you're going to be able to get 13 or 14 points. And that's at least better than, going with Tyreek with a bad quarterback where you might end up getting like 6 or 8 if he doesn't make that big explosive play. So I also look at the quarterbacks that are throwing to the receivers in fantasy. So I trust Geno more than I trust Trevor Lawrence. So that's why I told you, and that's what I had Lockett on my team, but I couldn't keep him. And then I had to let him go because I had to reorganize my roster. But again, there's certain players that I will roster, and then certain players I'll never roster. I'll never roster a Christian Kirk, but I will roster a guy like Tyler Lockett. So again, it's just all about, who you feel comfortable with, but you have to look at the rankings, look at the actual rankings of the player, how they compare to the other wide receivers, take a look at the snaps, look at the targets, look at the points. And, the reliability and consistency factor is big because you don't want someone that's, inconsistent, obviously on fantasy, 12, 13, 15, and then dropping down to like a 2. You want to try to have it as consistent as possible. 7-3 Huskies, 7-0 Ducks. Hell yeah. And again, the protection was good. He had a couple good passing plays, got Tez going, got Evan Stewart going, got Jordan James going. And, this could end up being a rout. Based on how we played in the first 2 weeks, this could be the game where Oregon looks like a team that actually is 9th in the nation, even though we were 3rd and then 7th and we dropped from winning 2 games, which normally doesn't happen unless you're overrated. But again, we can still try to live up to those early rankings that we had. And again, a great start for the Mariners. The Ducks, 7-0 Oregon. World Series matchup. I mean, it really is open, right? So I think right now you got the Phillies and Dodgers are the best teams in the National League. But the best teams in the National League the last couple years haven't made it to the World Series. The Phillies and Diamondbacks got hot, and that could be the Padres this year. So I think that the Padres are my sleeper team in the National League. Phillies and Dodgers should get there, but they have to stay hot and healthy. And again, they have a lot of injuries with the pitching staff and some of their key guys. So we'll see who's hot when we get into October. So those would be my three picks. Phillies, Dodgers, wild card sleeper, Padres, kind of being the Diamondback Phillies of the last couple of years. And then the American League, it's up in the air. It could literally be the Baltimore Orioles. It could be it could be the Yankees. It could be the Guardians. Hell, it could even be the Astros. Touchdown, Cougars. So I feel that it's kind of open on the American League side, but on the National League side, I'm not really a big believer in the Braves or the Brewers or any of the other teams. I know Diamondbacks are kind of creeping, but I feel that Phillies, Dodgers, Padres, I like those three teams on that side. And then on the other side, again, it could be anybody. Yankees, it could end up being Orioles. It could end up being Guardians, maybe the Astros, because they're getting kind of hot if the Mariners don't end up getting in. Anything is possible. The American League usually will win the World Series when their team is really, really good. I feel like the National League, they might end up having like the best record, overall, but sometimes having the best record ends up kind of fucking you, because again, you get overconfident. Oh, I won 100, 115 games. We're going all the way. The Dodgers and Braves thought that the last couple of years. And here comes, Bryce Harper, and here comes Corbin Carroll out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden the teams that we thought that were so good, fell flat on their faces, not hot and not healthy. And you got beat by teams that you probably shouldn't got beat by. So again, I feel like the National League chokes a little bit more. The American League team that kind of solidifies themselves, they usually go all the way. But again, we had the Rangers win last year, Astros. Who's it going to be this year? Maybe it's the National League this year. It's possible, but I don't really have a prediction just yet. Now, I think it would be cool, if we could get something new, like if we got Orioles and Phillies or Orioles, Dodgers, that would be cool, but I don't really have a specific pick or a preference, but I think it's definitely open in the air. Let's go, baby. 7-0 Ducks. Great start. And I wish this game was on a little bit later. We'd get a lot more people watching along, if we were on at like 7 p.m. instead of 12:30, but it is what it is. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We need one more to get to 10. There we go. And then hopefully we can get to 20 within, maybe an hour and a half, and then hopefully 30 to 50 before the game ends. Yeah. The Mets are untrustworthy, though, just like the Brewers are. Right. And just like the Braves are, you can, you have to be able to look at a full product top to bottom. And there's going to be some teams that are like decent in the regular season, but I don't think there's even any fan even of the Mets that even trusts their team if they made it in the postseason. If you're going to be going against the big boys and you're going to go against like the Padres, you're going to go against the Dodgers and Phillies, you better know what the fuck you're doing. And you better have a good pitching staff, and you better have your hitters on point. Otherwise it could get ugly and ugly quick. But that is an impressive win, though. 11-3, I'll give you that. 7-0, Oregon, baby. Let's go. Handoff. Marker down. Let's see what the flag is. Personal foul, face mask. Automatic first down. Yeah, I'm hoping we can get some sack lunches and some strips, interceptions, fumbles. I would love to see a pick for a touchdown, a pick six, or a fumble for a touchdown at some point. First down and 10. Jordan Birch with the face mask. Hankerson again. Short game. Second down. 10-7 Cougs against the Huskies. And obviously, Huskies are heavily favored in the matchup. But again, Cougs are 2-0, and they're definitely trying to get the upset, just like the Beavers here today. Second down and 6 on the Oregon 48. Hankerson with a 4-yard gain to the Oregon 48. Handoff again. Hankerson again instead of Jam Griffin. Gain of a couple. Yeah. Third down and 4 on the Oregon 46. Come on, Ducks. Let's get some pressure. I always dreamed that the Ducks defense would be better than the offense, but I didn't want the offense to fall off as much as they did this year. But it's kind of cool to see, me being a Buck fan, I'm always going to be a defensive-oriented NFL fan. Linebacker, safety, corners, DNs, nose tackles, D tackles. But I want that offense to get better. Third and 4, screen pass. And he had a little bobble there. There we go. Betcher with the play, trying to poke that ball loose. Nice job by Betcher, baby. Fourth down and 4. Screen pass right there in the flat. And he has it. He bobbles it. He bobbles it. He bobbles it. Gets blasted. Bobbles it. And then out of bounds. There we go. Fourth down and 4. Beavers to punt. That was a very good defensive drive there for the Ducks. Now they're going to review it to see if he was inbounds with a foot down. Ooh, nice catch by the Huskies. First down, Huskies. Move the chains. Almost 90. Yeah, it's definitely more cool here. I mean, he does bobble it, but he does recover close to the sideline. Maybe that is a complete pass there from that secondary angle. I'm not really seeing the football move anymore. Foot is down inbounds, and he still has the ball. I think he's in. I think that's a first down for the Beavers, not a punt. All right, Beavers get that catch. Good call. Virginia Tech. Going back to the glory days when they had Michael Vick, when I watched every single game beginning to end when he was QB. The Hokies. All right, first down and 10 for the Beavs on the Oregon 40. Man in motion. Trick play. Little flea flicker. Going deep. McCoy. Incomplete. And they really went for a trick play on that one. Second down and 10 on the Oregon 40. Come on, Ducks. But depending on what we end on for likes and donos on this stream, if it ends up, being a little bit underwhelming, I might be forced to do the Mariner game, later tonight to try to make up for it. But we'll see how I feel. Feel a little bit better than yesterday, and that's, obviously a bonus. Handoff. Hankerson slips. I don't know why they have Hankerson running instead of Jam Griffin. When they had Damian Martinez, that would have been the starting running back and the best one that they had. But I believe that he transferred once, Jonathan Smith decided to leave to go to Michigan State. So I guess for the Ducks, we should be thankful that we don't have to worry about Damian Martinez. 3rd down and 10 on the Oregon 40. Hankerson with a couple short attempts earlier on. We got trips right. Shotgun set for McCoy. Little slant. First down, Beavers. Move the chains. Good route right there. Good hands. Jabbar Muhammad got burnt there. First down, Beavers. Move the chains. 10-7 Cougs up on the Huskies. That's a little surprising. Oh, sideline warning on Oregon. Yeah, good game so far. A little early, but again, I guess it does give me an opportunity to do 2 today, with the Mariners being on later. So handoff up the middle. And it's like I would be watching this game anyways. I just had to take some extra time to wake up a little bit earlier, take care of Paisley, and then, make the thumbnail and whatnot. So, and, obviously, there's going to be certain games that are going to get more attention and more, views and subs. Like, obviously when we played Boise State late and we almost lost, we had, a lot of people, almost 10,000. And I imagine when we do Oregon and Ohio State, it'll be pretty similar. We're going to have a lot of people in that particular stream. But anything that's on late, obviously will get a little bit more traction. But it's okay, 2nd down and 8 on the Oregon 25. Come on, Ducks, get some pressure up front. Hankerson with a full tank of gas going downhill on the Ducks. Nice run right there. First down, Ducks. Well, I feel like, every game is going to be really competitive, like regardless of what, college it is, even if you go against the mid to bottom end Big Ten teams, again, Oregon, has holes and, a lot of it is depth, not scheme. So if you don't have the right depth in certain positions, you will get exposed by every team. And, again, even though our defense is our strong suit, we're going to get pushed around here and there. And, we just have to have a bend but don't break mentality. We can give up yards from the 20 to the 20, but once it gets to the 20, we got to be able to try to, hold to more field goals and touchdowns if possible. So, yeah, Baker is going to have a better career than Tannehill, though. Like Baker, this year, if they overachieve, there's a chance that they could end up making a deep run. Not saying the Super Bowl, but if everyone stays healthy, it is possible that they make the NFC Championship game or, end up going, going pretty far this year. It's the best offense that we've had in a long time, adding Jalen McMillan, who's our best number 3 receiver in 15 years. And we got Bucky Irving, who's our best RB2 probably in 10 to 15 years, since we had like Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott. So with Mike Evans and Godwin balling out, Baker playing well, offensive line, awesome. Getting Graham Barton in the draft and having Tristan Wirfs, that's really the big key. We don't have Antoine Winfield Jr. Obviously, this weekend he's hurt, but you guys got hurt over week 1. But, again, we might not be able to beat the Lions in Detroit, but you never know. Like I said, I wouldn't count them out completely. And they did beat us twice last year in the regular season where we wore the creamsicles in Tampa and we lost in the playoffs. So, again, if there's going to be anybody that's motivated to get a little bit of payback, for the Lions, if they lose at home, it's not really a big deal. But if Tampa wins, that's huge for us, to try to get a little bit of payback and momentum. And again, Baker, 4 touchdown passes, no picks. Again, if you got time and you can go through your progressions, Baker looks like he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year. And that's exciting. Handoff up the middle. Touchdown, Beavers. Wow. Beavers making look that super easy there with the run up the gut. Anthony Hankerson for a 6-yard tutty and winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. Oregon State does it again. 7-6 Ducks. And, rivalry game. And again, we're on the road, and it's early in the season. Normally, we play this team at the end of the year. So again, it's a trap game for us. So again, don't be surprised if this game and every game the Ducks play this year ends up being really, really close. I don't think that we're going to be blowing out too many teams this year. Extra point is up, and it's good. 7-7 Ducks and Beavers, and hopefully the defense will adjust in the second half. But again, that's the problem when you end up being overrated and being 3 when you come out. Then we all get excited thinking we're going to go all the way, and play like Georgia or Ohio State. Then you play like shit against Idaho. You go down a little bit. You play better against Boise State, but you almost lose, but you win, right? And obviously you're going against the number 1 running back in the country in Genty. So, again, no matter who we play, it's going to be a battle. And even games at home, some games are going to feel like home field advantage. Others, it's going to feel like a neutral site. It's just about execution. But again, the depth is the biggest problem for the Ducks, and hopefully, we can rotate the right guys in, and in the future, they can do a better job recruiting on the offensive line. It's just like the Mariners trying to get guys like Polo and Garver when they should have used that money for the bullpen. When you have a weakness, you want to make sure that you fix it. You don't ignore it, and if you don't ignore it, then things will get better. But if you do ignore it, other teams will notice and you will get exposed. So, nice job by the Beavers there. 7-7 Ducks and Beavers. Hankerson. And they got a nice 1-2 punch with obviously Jam Griffin. And again, if they had Damian Martinez, we would be in real trouble, because Damian Martinez in the last couple years when he was on the Beavers, he looked like an NFL running back. Like even when we had CJ Verdell, at that time, like sometimes when you see certain guys, they may not make it to the NFL. They may not pan out in the NFL, but at least in the college ranks, you can tell that they're going to do their business. Yeah, Joe Flacco, they should have kept him. Maybe they need to go to Jameis Winston over there. It's kind of crazy, when you end up having quarterbacks, that are a little bit older that people give up on, and then they get a chance to show what they can do. But obviously, Joe Flacco going to the Colts to be AR's backup is huge, because if anything does happen to AR, the Colts can still make the playoffs with Flacco. But the Browns, to go from Watson to Jameis, they will not. So that's the difference. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's go, baby. We need 9 more likes to get to 20. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. There we go. We're at 12 now. 8 more to go to get to 20. Cougs 10, Huskies 10. Competitive matchup in the Apple Cup, competitive matchup in the Civil War. Let's go Ducks. Touchback. Both games are good. I got Washington State, Washington on Peacock here on the TV in the studio. I got Oregon State right here in front of me as well. Great Saturday, man. Let's go. Apple Cup, Civil War, Pacific Northwest. Let's go, baby. I got 1 second left here in the first quarter. Man in motion, shotgun set for Gabriel. Screen pass. Terrence Ferguson with a short gain. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Knotted up at 7, baby. And it's kind of what I expected. I did not expect the Ducks to be up 10-0, 13-0, 14-0. I got a lot of respect for, all the Pac-12 teams and the Big Ten teams. It's like, again, I understand what we're about, But again, I've been watching this team since like the mid 80s, when they would end up winning like one game a year or two. So to be able to see the growth, to go from Rich Brooks to Mike Bellotti, to go to Chip Kelly, and to see all the other coaches after that really weren't a fit, like Willie Taggart and a few of the others. Mario Cristobal was probably the first coach that I really liked after Chip, but then he decided to be dumb and go back to the U and suffer over there like Taggart did to go to his alma mater. But when you go to your alma mater and you end up, going back to a school that you played at or coached at back in the day, that's all fine and dandy. But, it's only going to work out if the team actually has the right recruiting and players. So it's like if Dan Lanning ever leaves Oregon and goes to Georgia, if they fire Kirby Smart, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that would be probably the most ideal job you could have other than the Oregon job that he's got now. But it kind of just depends on, when it happens, if it happens. And, if Kirby Smart gets, let go, they would have to obviously implode and have a very, very bad year or two for them to do that. But the first call that they would make would be obviously to Dan Lanning for sure. Oh, yeah. Sundays are great, too. I don't know. For me, though, like I said, I'm a huge fan of college football and NFL. I like to evaluate talent. And I feel like a big part of me being able to have ESP and to be able to, do the film study and the research is watching a lot of not necessarily high school ball here and there, for highlights and whatnot. But as far as like game film, lots of college. So that way, by the time the, guys go to the NFL, you already know who's good and who's not and who's going to end up making it, who isn't. So end of the first quarter, 7-7 Ducks and Beavers. Yeah, but I think he's going to be great at Ohio State. Ryan Day is there. He's calling the plays for Ohio State. I mean, you got to think that's going to be one of the best jobs in the country, not being a head coach. Like to be an OC for Georgia and OC for Ohio State, that's a pretty fucking lucrative job. And at some point, he might end up being a head coach again, of a big time school or possibly an NFL team. But, some guys are better suited to mentor, young men rather than trying to battle egos with guys that are similar in age or a little bit younger that, make more money, that, obviously wear the jewelry and all that. And, sometimes it's hard to be able to get the respect, from certain players that might be a little ignorant, and they don't want to be a team player. It's a lot harder to be able to reach out to grown ass men than it is to young men that are looking up to you. So, some guys are just made for it. Not everyone can be like a Pete Carroll, that you can have success at USC and have success at, the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously we were seeing Harbaugh, what he's done, obviously on many places, with the Niners and obviously, going to Michigan and getting it done there. And obviously if you've seen the Chargers play against the Raiders week 1, he's making an impact. No Eckler, no Mike Williams, no Keenan Allen. We thought this team's going to be garbage, right? And what did they do? Joey Bosa looking like the old Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack looking like a fucking Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Hall of Fame guy. You got Asante Samuel Jr. and Derwin James playing like they should with a bunch of sack lunches. And again, Herbert doesn't have a whole lot to work with besides Ladd McConkey, right? But again, sometimes just being able to have that right coach, instead of, having those players there with the wrong coach, it shows you. It's almost like addition by subtraction. And Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Eckler were key, cogs of that wheel. But Harbaugh is finding a way to win even without those guys. Impressive. Gabriel, little play action. There we go. Ferguson, first down, Ducks. Yeah. But the thing is about Chip Kelly, too, if he didn't end up bringing those guys in and blowing the team up, then they wouldn't have got to the point to get Carson Wentz in the draft afterwards and then win a Super Bowl. So everyone can be pissed off about the Jeremy Maclin, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson trio getting ripped apart. But if it didn't happen, then there was no Super Bowl that was going to happen after that. So I think Eagles fans, need to not be so on Chip and hating him. It's like he actually did them a favor to get the team to a point where they could get the right quarterback at that time, the right backup in Nick Foles, and they ended up working out for you anyways. Because if you ended up keeping all those players, you end up not getting Carson Wentz and probably never win a Super Bowl. Maybe down the road with Jalen, maybe, but 7-7 Ducks and Beavers. Less than 14 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Second down and 14 on the Oregon 46. I think it's cool for Chip. I'm always going to be a Chip guy. He's definitely my favorite coach in Oregon history. Mike Bellotti as well. Go, Gabriel, go! The 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Ducks, baby! Woo! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! 50 plus yards by Dylan Gabriel. Let's go. Let's go. Dylan Gabriel, 54 yards, scrambling and a gambling. Touchdown, Ducks. And that give you a little bit of Tim Tebow. You know, again, he's going to be more like Tim Tebow than Michael Penix Jr. 2-point conversion is, and it's good. A little bit of Chip Kelly right there. You know, obviously trying to catch him off guard with that 2-point conversion. And mentally, when you're down 15-7 rather than 14-7, it's not good. You know, again, it puts those, you know, emotions in your head. And damn it, you know, now we got to go and get a 2-point conversion at some point in the game. Nice job. Nice job by the Ducks. Good trickery there. And again, to me, like, I think Mike Bellotti took over for Rich Brooks. Rich Brooks built it. Mike Bellotti was like kind of the grandpa that got us on the map with Joey Harrington, right? But he was conservative, kind of like Tony Dungy. And we were never going to win anything big with that mentality. Then we bring in Chip Kelly, and I remember in, 08, we played Des Bryant in Oklahoma State, and I could see Chip's OC ability. Then he came in as the head coach in 09, went to the Rose Bowl and lost to Ohio State. But we went Rose Bowl, Natty, Rose Bowl, Fiesta. And we've never had a run like that since, as well as we haven't had recruits like LaMichael James and DeAnthony Thomas since. And it feels good to be able to have players like that, being a part of this brand. And again, we're going to get guys like that in the future. But again, if we didn't have Chip Kelly, there's no way we would have got LaMichael or DeAnthony, because DeAnthony originally committed to USC. And on the last night, he changed his mind and then decided to give Chip a shot, because obviously playing in like Snoop Dogg's Pop Warner League, being in California, Crenshaw, like USC was kind of like, the thing, right? So to take a chance and flip to go to Oregon, that was Chip Kelly. And it worked out for us. And one of my favorite players of all time, not only LaMichael James with the jersey I got on now, but obviously with DeAnthony Thomas with the black jersey that I usually wear with the Mamba on the back as well. NC Jolly in the building. What's good, brother? That was beautiful, man. We didn't run that all year to that extent. And that was great to see Dylan Gabriel do that and execute that. It was kind of gave me Tebow vibes. And again, just because he's built, more upper body and he's not going to be as fast as some of the other running quarterbacks, that's okay. Because once Gabriel gets rumbling and a bumbling, it's hard to stop him. The momentum starts to kind of go. And if he's got blockers downfield, some guys wouldn't have been able to make a 50-yard touchdown down the sideline. They tire out and then fall down around the 5 or the 10. So nice blocking by Oregon. Great play call by Stein. And this is what we're expecting, right? 15-7 Oregon. Let's go. Yeah. Well, also losing Kelsey is a big thing. And Jurgens is kind of ass, at center. You're going to have to figure out a new one at some point. He's okay, but he's never going to be as good as Kelsey. He can still pull and make some plays, but he's a big drop-off from what Kelsey brought to that team. Kelsey could block and get into the second and third level against the linebackers and the safeties, and he moved like a tight end or a fullback, Kelsey. He was an amazing player. And again, it's like I like some of the pieces on the team, but, we'll have to wait and see. Burrow went once, and sometimes when you go to a Super Bowl and you lose, you don't get back. Even though you think you're going to get back and the team is going to remain the same, unfortunately, free agency, egos, money, things change. And people want more money and they want more respect. And sometimes you can't keep the same roster. And, hopefully we see Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts in a Super Bowl again. But, I mean, obviously Eagles look like they have a better chance of making it than the Bengals anytime soon. But Joe Burrow is injury prone. And, again, he had his chance. And, he might not be able to get back there again, which is kind of crappy, You got to take care of your body. 15-7 Ducks, baby. 10-10, Cougs and Huskies. The Apple Cup is exciting. Let's go. On Ducks. Jam Griffin for a 3-yard gain. Second down and 3 on the 32. First down, Beavers, Jam Griffin, move the chains. Yeah, I mean, we need to be able to get some pressure on first and second down. I want to be able to see some sack lunches, some tip passes. I want to see the quarterback running for his life. I want to see some strip footballs. I want to see some sacks. I want to see some strip sacks. I want to see some picks. I mean, I want to be able to see, what this defense could really bring. Fumble! There we go. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. There we go. Let them make the errors. Exactly. Low. Got to go low. Burrow has to go through Mahomes. Yeah. But it's just like based on staying healthy. Like we were all ripping on Josh Allen for years being like second, third, fourth, fifth quarterback, but then he would throw too many interceptions, right? And obviously he wasn't really anything before Diggs. But then now the roster is much worse, but they got a better running back in James Cook. And now he spreads the ball around, runs the ball, and he seems like he's more efficient. They lost like 4 or 5 starters on defense. They look even better with less talent. So it's like kind of crazy to think you have less talent on offense, less talent on defense, and you're a better team now. So again, and I think Josh Allen, went from being maybe the third, fourth, fifth best quarterback, and I don't think he's going to have as many problems with interceptions anymore. And then now he looks, light years better than Burrow. Get his ass. Just missed the sack lunch, missed another opportunity there. But Allen, looks like he might be the second best quarterback. I mean, obviously we know Mahomes is Mahomes, but there's going to be a lot of shifting, in the top 5, top 6 with Jalen, Allen, Burrow, Hurts, and then maybe some newbies, AR, if he can stay healthy, CJ Stroud. You're getting some of these new quarterbacks that are going to be climbing up in the rankings. So I'm very excited to see the progression of a lot of those guys. Stuart in the building. What's good? Yeah, I mean, I watch everything NFL as well as college football, and again, sometimes we have a perception of a player, but again, I've been really impressed with what Josh Allen has matured, and again, Diggs, is kind of a cancer, and again, when is it going to be a time where he blows up like he did on the Vikings with Kirk Cousins, and company? As well as with Josh Allen. Now, when he first came in, it was fine. It was a honeymoon phase. But then if you saw last year, he was screaming at Allen like all the time. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. And after a while, that's got to get old, right? So to have no Gabe Davis, to have no, Stephon Diggs, people thought, oh, this team's going to be garbage. Defense lose 4 or 5 starters. They don't got Jordan Poyer anymore. Like all their key guys are gone, right? And then, obviously Tua went down with the injury. But even if Tua didn't get hurt, they were going to beat the shit out of them. You could tell. So I'm really impressed. And as long as Allen can keep the interceptions down and he can use his legs and run in for touchdowns that way and big first downs, but not be a ball hog, right? And also implement, James Cook. But we said this all along. The Bills were going to be good when they ended up having a top running back. They never had one. They kept going for RB2s, RB3s, and they kept losing to the Chiefs or whoever. But now they finally got a top 5, top 10 running back in James Cook. Right. And that's better than having Gabe Davis or Stephon Diggs. It relieves the pressure, less interceptions. You can pound the rock, a guy that can give you 2 or 3 touchdowns on the ground, like a Thurman Thomas. Right. It's like Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas all over again. Pretty cool. So I'm excited to see where they go. And going into the year, I think a lot of people were hating on the Bills. And after watching a couple weeks, I've been really impressed. And again, some guys are going to go down in the rankings, temporarily, like, Burrow being injured and maybe Jalen because of that offensive line. But then you're going to get guys that got supposedly worse in the offseason, losing all their pieces. But to me, Josh Allen looks like he could be the best quarterback in football right up there with Mahomes. So we'll see if that can, maintain that high level of success and he doesn't force, bad throws into double and triple coverage like he used to. But I like what I'm seeing so far out of the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. I don't got him in fantasy, but obviously I'm keeping tabs on everything that he does. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I know I might look young and whatnot. I'm 42, bro. So I've been watching sports and wrestling since '85. So with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith and Cornelius Bennett, Don Beebe. I mean, my brain is like fucking Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. All I did was collect sports cards, play video games, read the back of sports cards and the stats. And I still remember, I can name drop for days: baseball, basketball, football, hockey, elite players, mid-level players, jobbers, I think it's just one of those things that a lot of dudes do. They appreciate the old school times. So, Marv Levy, appreciate you, my guy. Salute, bro. And I do NFL streams. I do college football streams. I do basketball, baseball, football, hockey, WWE pay-per-views once a month. I mean, I do reaction videos on the NFL side, college once in a while. So, I mean, if you're looking for a one-stop shop, this is it. 15-7 Ducks. Handoff. Whittington is in, runs over a Beaver. Short gain. Yes, Bo Jackson. The Raiders and the Royals. And then obviously after the Royals with the injuries, a little bit of White Sox and whatnot. Bo knows, baby. I'm a Ken Griffey Jr. guy, so I met Ken Griffey Jr. when I was 7. So when you meet Ken Griffey Jr. and you live in Oregon and you're a Oregon, Washington, Northwest fan, it definitely changes you. So short gain there on 2nd and 7, down to the Oregon 19. Now it's 3rd down and 5, gain of 2. Come on, Ducks. You got your Flair cards? There you go. I mean, it all depends if it's in the junk wax era or prior, All right, 3rd down and 5 on the Oregon 21. Let's go, Ducks. Shotgun set. Gabriel, bootleg, rolling to his right. Leaping for the 1st down. First down, Ducks. Good for them. Bobby Witt Jr. and company. Salvador Perez has been there, since that World Series run, and Bobby Witt Jr. doing Bobby Witt Jr. things. Good for him. Good for the Royals. 13-10 Huskies on the Cougs in the Apple Cup. 9 minutes to go before halftime. 15-7 here, Ducks on the Beavs. Short game. So what are the teams that you root for, Stuart? You're a Bills fan, and who else do you root for? Like for baseball, basketball, football, hockey. Let us get to know you a little bit better. I always like to be able to get to know all the new subs and the new people on the channel. Timeout by the Beavs on 2nd down and 8 on the Oregon 28. Lamar had a short run there on 1st down, and hopefully we can keep pouring it on here. 13-10 Huskies. Shotgun set for the Cougs. Little bootleg. Pump fake. And complete. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We got to try to get to 20 before the stream ends, and then hopefully we can get to 30 to 50. We're at 13. We need 7 more. And I know we got limited people, but again, we can get more, as the, obviously gets a little bit later in the afternoon. Now we're at 14. Thank you. 6 more to get to 20 to hit the algorithm. Let's go, baby. And I'll be the only one that really does Duck games and Mariner games consistently. So again, it's almost kind of really matters what time the game is on. For the NFL, it doesn't really matter, but for college, if you got a game on at 9 a.m., regardless on who's playing, sometimes you're not going to, hit that same type of crowd. Like even if it's like Michigan and Ohio State, we know like a good chunk of the world is watching, but how many people are going to hop online at 9 a.m., So 9 a.m., 10 a.m., noon. It's not really the most ideal time slot for a game, but at least it gives me a chance to be able to do this and spend time with Paisley. And then we'll figure out if I end up doing the Mariner game later tonight, depending on how I feel. 15-7 Ducks, baby. Let's go. Oh, big sack lunch by the Huskies, but a flag on the play. See who the flag is on that one. Personal foul, face mask on the Huskies. Uh-oh. $8:31 left here in the second quarter. Let's go Ducks, baby. If A.J. Brown doesn't play. Well, obviously Puka is out, so Cooper Kupp is the one. DeMarcus Robinson will probably be the two. But, again, you have to look at the matchup on who the Rams are playing. And then Christian Watson, you know, you got him and Romeo Doubs, but then you also have Reed. So it's like Watson at one point was like the one, and then Doubs got some looks, and then Reed is kind of taken over. So do you have anybody else, that wide receiver, than those backups to Brown? You need more depth than that. There's got to be other guys on the wire that are better than Watson and DeMarcus Robinson. I don't know how many players you're playing in your league and whatnot, but I mean, obviously Watson's the bigger name, but that doesn't mean he's going to score. I mean, you could have Christian Watson running around, and I wouldn't do Watson because they got Malik Willis. Jordan Love is not playing, so Malik Willis can't throw to anybody. So I would stay away from all of Green Bay's pieces. You know, if that's me personally. You know, you have to take that in consideration. It's not Jordan Love anymore. It's Malik Willis who stinks. So flag on the play. So even though DeMarcus Robinson might be worse than Watson talent-wise, you know, you're probably going to get the ball more from Matthew Stafford, but Cooper Kupp is going to probably get like 15 to 20 targets. So I would probably look to see who else you have on the team, or look on the wire if there's someone on the wire that's available that's better, like a better option, like maybe like a D-Hop or like a Tyler Lockett, or, you know, seeing what else is out there. Trying to find a number one option with a good quarterback rather than going with a 2 or a 3. Nice job by Dylan Gabriel there. Shotgun set. Gabriel. Little check down. There we go. Ferguson hit it with a mosquito. Nice 20-yard game. First down, Ducks. Move the Cheyennes. That's why fantasy is you know, something that you got to make sure you're thinking about all the pieces that are in motion. It's easy to say Christian Watson right out of the gates after A.J. Brown comparing to DeMarcus Robinson, but with Malik Willis quarterbacking, that's garbage. Like, no value there. It's all about value. Back of the end zone, touchdown, Ducks! Trayshawn Holden, nice job by Dylan Gabriel. Let's go, we're pulling away, baby. All right, no worries, bro. Nice job by Dylan Gabriel. Standing in the pocket, zipping it there into the back of the end zone. Holding, baby. Nice post route. Puts his hand up in the air. Hey, I'm open. 17 doesn't get back, and he pays the price. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Extra point is up, and it's good. 22-7. Go Ducks. Now, this is the Duck team that, this is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to do, based on being ranked 3rd or 7th, even though we're 9th now. It just took us to the 3rd game to kind of find ourselves, and this could end up being a big blowout, to kind of solidify that, we do deserve to be ranked in the top 10, but the first 2 weeks were really shaky. But again, looks like the game plan here will be much better today. The execution will be better, and we might end up winning this game by 20 or 30 when it's all said or done. Let's go. Yeah, these are actually from the national championship game in 2010, game used, when we ended up playing Cam Newton. (13-10) Huskies. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left before halftime in that one. Yeah, definitely very Chip Kelly-like. I would grab both of those guys, Lockett and Hopkins. Hopkins was injured in week 1, right? And he only played like a couple snaps. And Levis stinks, and Henry's gone, but Hopkins is the number 1. And then Lockett in week number 1 went 6 for 7 and like 60, 70 yards and got like 13 and a half without even scoring a touchdown. So if that's me, David, I think that those two are worth more than, necessarily Demarcus Robinson and Christian Watson. That's my personal opinion. Like Demarcus Robinson could end up getting a touchdown this weekend, to be on the other side of Cooper Kupp. But if I'm going to be going with who I trust, Geno to Lockett, even though the DK and JSN are there, Lockett's got the best hands on the team, super reliable in the red zone and from the 20 to the 20s. Someone that can get 10 to 15 points almost every week. Every once in a while, we'll get like a 6 to a 9, but most of the time a 10 to a 15, and once in a while a 15 to a 30, right? And then obviously with D-Hop, injured in game 1, doesn't have the injury anymore. They don't really have any weapons there besides him since Henry is gone. So Levis isn't a very good quarterback, but if you're going to get, if we have to monitor and see how many looks that Hopkins gets, but if Hopkins gets 12 targets and 7 catches and ends up getting 1 touchdown and 60, 70 yards, that's going to give you, 10 to 20 points. So, if it's me, that's what I would do, depending on who else that you have on the roster. If you have shittier receivers that you can drop other than DeMarcus or Christian Watson, then I don't know. I have to look at your team, really. But those would be 2 guys that I would throw on my wire, and then you could adjust accordingly. And it's game in and game out. You have to look at game script. So, 2nd down and 6 for the Beavs. Towards the sideline, close to a first down. Yeah, and I even got the box for it too. That hung in the locker. You're not going to see the box for the gloves is like the most rare thing ever because they just don't exist when they hung up in the locker room and whatnot. And it's based off the 2010 game with the jersey that I'm wearing right now as well. So again, they did the winged gloves. Those are the very first winged gloves that Oregon ever came out with. They came out with a gray glove with a black O. It's a big black O in 2009 when we went to the Rose Bowl. But the wing gloves started in 2010. And then they also have like a green version that I have. If you see me on social media when I go to the games, they have like a green apple, lime green version with the wings on it. And then that one's from 2011. Secondary players. We've had a few in the past. TJ Ward, we had Patrick Chung and Walter Thurman III at corner. So I'm not really sure if there's one safety that really stands out more than the rest. I'm definitely a defensive guy. I think Haloti Ngata, up front was, probably our best defensive player. We've had Armstead and Buckner and, Kayvon Thibodeau and a few of these other guys and whatnot. But I've been watching since the 80s. So, I could go down a bunch of names. So. Third down and 2. Shotgun set. McCoy, little crossing route. First down, Beavers. Move the chains. No, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of money to spend on myself. But usually, I got plenty of Ducks and Bucks jerseys already in the closet and whatnot. If I was going to buy a new one, I would buy Antoine Winfield Jr. and then like Tristan Wirfs. I'd probably buy those two. And if I was going to go throwback, I would go like Mike Allstott, Rondé Barber, John Lynch, whatnot. I already have Sapp and Brooks and Simeon Rice and Doug Williams and Doug Martin. And, I got, plenty of jerseys. A couple Devin Whites. Unfortunately, he gave up on the team and then went to the Eagles now. And, he'll probably get cut from them as well. And kind of crazy how you can end up being one of the best linebackers in the world. And then a couple years later, it'd be like nothing, but I got Levante David and whatnot. So I got a lot, but no new Bucks jerseys. Usually I wear my favorite jerseys, which is my Derek Brooks Stone jersey from, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002 era, so I got that one. And that one's like, 20 plus years old. Reebok Stone still going strong. So I like the old throwback kind of jerseys. Second down and 13. Shotgun set for McCoy. Little screen pass. Hankerson's rumbling and a bumbling close to the first down marker on second down and 13, maybe third down and 1 now. But Antoine Winfield Jr. and Tristan Wirfs would be the two I would get current. And then again, if I could go throwback, it would be Mike Allstott. Mike Allstott and Rondé Barber would be like, those would be my first choices. Rondé and Mike, Allstott, A-Train, and then Wirfs and Antoine Winfield Jr. But again, it's like when you already have like 10 jerseys in the closet plus, it's like, it's nice to be able to get a new jersey every year, and I used to. Nice tackle there by the Ducks. OT, baby. I mean, I got plenty of Mariners and Ducks and Bucks and Blazers, and I do need to get a Kraken jersey at some point for the NHL, but fourth down and 1 on the Oregon State 46. Beavers going for it, down by 15 with less than 3 minutes to go. Come on, Ducks. And a lot of their plays have been screens as well as slants. First down, Beavers. But again, if you watch them, they haven't really been going deep that much. Of course, with Jabbar Muhammad and company, it's going to be tough to be able to do that. But a lot of it is just check downs, a lot of screens, and really the only play that they've been able to get on the Ducks are crossing routes right in front of the quarterback. That's pretty much it. So, what about you? Any new jerseys on your end, David? Any new Sixers jerseys with like Embiid, or any new Eagle jerseys? Anything new in your collection? First down and 10 on the Oregon 50. Screen pass again. First down, Beavers. And we want to be able to try to punch the football out. I haven't seen us really try to jump up on the D-line or punch the football out or try to strip it. I want to be able to see some strips. I want to be able to see some picks. Like, that's how you end up changing the momentum of the game. But right now, we got the momentum, 22-7 Ducks, but the Beavers are marching with 2 minutes to go before halftime. And then we got 13-10 Huskies with 3:20 and counting before halftime. And we'll see if Will Rogers and company can end up pouring on a little bit more fuel to the fire in the Apple Cup. I do not have a Clyde Drexler jersey, but you would think I would, because that was like one of my favorite players growing up as a kid. Clyde and Terry, Jerome, Buck, Duckworth, Cliff Robinson, in that particular era. But there was a point where I was going to buy like a Mitchell and Ness one, but I think I decided to go a different route with like Mariners or Ducks or Bucks, and I decided to go another route. Most of the Blazer jerseys I have are like Dame. I got a couple Dames. I got a white Dame sewn and a black. But again, I haven't bought like any NBA jerseys just because I'm not really a fan of the NBA anymore. So I don't want to give them any of my money. I'd rather give the money to, sports that I actually like. I feel like the NBA has gone downhill quite a bit, and maybe one day it'll get better. But, until the NBA gets better, I'm not going to be buying any jerseys, for the Blazers or any other team. Lane Johnson, that would be a good choice. Mitchell and S. Iverson, nice. When I was a little kid, I got the red rookie 1996 champion Iverson, and I used to wear it to night court and at practice and at school and whatnot, and it was like the best thing in the world. I had like Anthony Hardaway, right, Penny jersey on Orlando with Little Penny, and then the Iverson in 96 that came out when I was 14. I was in 8th grade. Unbelievable, man. Iverson throwbacks are always nice. Yeah, Nike ones are terrible. I agree with that too. Oh, and a Mitchell and S. Michael Vick, fire. Which color? You went for like the maroon, or did you get the white one? Hell yeah, bro. Let's tie it. All right, 13-10 Huskies. Cougs with the football, trying to be able to get into field goal range where they got 90 yards to go. Nice. Big play. 15, 20-yard gain by the Cougs. And now the Beavers. They can sing in the crowd all they want, but they're down by 15. They need to get focused here. Wizards, Jordan. Man in motion. Shotgun set. McCoy. Just, they're a very methodical check down team. Screen pass, screen, little curl route. I mean, they're not doing anything exotic in the playbook. I don't think they really have the personnel to do that against Oregon anyways. But everything is just in front of you, nothing behind you. 2nd down and 6 on the Oregon 32. Shotgun set for McCoy. Screen. Get his ass. Wow. Unbelievable he didn't get a pick there or tackle him right away. But Walker with the elusiveness, with a little bit of a spin move off the screen pass. At some point, this is going to get picked off. You just got to be aware of where the football is. Maroon Vic. Nice, bro. I mean, there hasn't really been too many must-see TV guys for me in the last 20, 25 years. Michael Vick was the first. Johnny Manziel was the second. And Michael Penix Jr. last year was the third. So, there's certain players that you have kind of an attachment to that, you want to make sure. They may not pan out in the NFL, but you want to see what they do on the college level. Like with Johnny. Johnny just loved to party. DX in the building. What's good? 40 seconds and counting. Man in motion. Shotgun set for McCoy. Ducks bring a late blitz. Gets crushed. Tipped in the air. Incomplete. And now they're going to try to call, targeting? Uh-oh. Or some kind of... We'll see what happens here if this is a targeting call or not, if he gets ejected. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're trying to get to 20. We're at 14. We need 6 more to go. Now we're at 15. 5 more to go. That wasn't targeting, but that was a big physical hit, though. I mean, the helmet hits the arm and then the shoulder pad. That's not targeting. Cougs going deep. Got a man. Oh, my goodness. Go, go, go. First down, Cougars. Wow, Cougars are rolling. Potentially could take the lead on the Huskies in the Apple Cup on the road. Wow. 13-10 Huskies, minute 41 left, and the Cougars just made a huge 30 to 40-yard play to get themselves into field goal range to tie it. But if they get a couple good plays here, with the last minute 30, they might actually take the lead going into halftime. Wow. Great game by the Apple Cup and the Huskies and the Cougs. And we got a good one here. Obviously, if the Beavers can score, then it'll give them a better feeling going into halftime. Cougs going deep, one-on-one, incomplete. All right, no targeting, good. Player is not disqualified, which he shouldn't be. Automatic first down. I know, even though we haven't executed everything to the Ducks standard, we played pretty fucking good in the first half. It's not like we're down 22-7, so that is obviously a great sign. Now, I still would like to be able to see some more effort on the D-line, jumping up for tip passes, trying to strip the football out. Hopefully we can get a big strip sack or an interception, fumble for a touchdown, pick for a touchdown, special teams touchdown. But if we can hold them to a field goal here, that would be ideal. You already know what they like to run, little crossing routes and slants. Screens. Shotgun set for McCoy. First down and 10. Blitz coming. One-on-one. Back of the end zone. Fade route. Incomplete. Manning in coverage. Good defense there for Oregon. Second down and 10 on the Oregon 11. Definitely could have been PI on Oregon on that play, if we're being honest. "26 seconds left here before halftime, 22-7 Oregon." And the 2-point conversion, when you get it, it's a little bit more intimidating than being up 21-7, even though it's only one more point. Just when you look at the scoreboard, I mean, McCoy, he's open. He's going for the end zone. Very close. Touchdown, Beavers. McCoy, the quarterback, rumbles in. 22-13 Ducks. I'm not sure if they're going to review that or not. Nice job by the Beavers. Oh, he's out of bounds. Pryor. Nice. Bring it back. Bring it back. He's out, baby. Oh, yeah. Bring it back. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Oregon could improve on. Getting to the point of attack, wrapping up, gang tackling. There's a lot of things that, we're kind of poor at, but again, we just have to find ways to win the game at the end, even if the games end up being much closer than they should be. We just got to be able to, try to improve every single week, a little bit here, a little bit there. Cougs down the sideline, touchdown, Washington State. They take the lead on the road with 21 seconds left on the Huskies. Wow. Huskies are huge, huge favorites to win. John Mattia, 25-yard TD run down the sideline like Dylan Gabriel. Gabriel's was about twice as long. Now Huskies with Belichick and company are trying to figure out how to stop this Cougar team. All right, ball's on the 1-yard line. Huskies are probably shocked that the Cougars are playing them so competitively, but it's the Apple Cup, right? These two teams, always would go at each other's throats, just like Oregon and Oregon State. But normally when we play each other in these rivalry games, it's the last regular season game of the year before you go into the Pac-12 championship or your bowl game. So to be playing it early is very odd. First and goal on the Oregon 1. Shotgun set. Handoff. Hankerson. Second effort. Touchdown. Beavers. Got popped on the line, went backwards, and then Hankerson said, "Not today," and then ended up fighting his way in there, and then finally the Beavers get a score. Nice job, OSU. Now the Beaver fans feel a little bit better, and we'll see if they end up going for 2 or if they just end up going for the extra point, which would be the smart thing to do. Don't try to match what Oregon does. Just be yourself. Jacob Strand, the Beaver lineman, is down, and now he's up, walking to the sideline. Hopefully he's okay. 17-13 Cougs with 21 seconds left before halftime. Well, they were on the 1-yard line. I mean, what do you expect? You know, they hit him at the point of contact. He leaned forward and he scored. I mean, you only have a foot to lean over to get the football in. It's not like they were at the 50-yard line. I mean, if you're at the 1-yard line, they're going to get in, you know, especially if they got 4 downs. I mean, you got to be a pretty shitty team to be at the 1 and not be able to punch it in on 4 straight runs. Extra point is up, and it's good. 22-14, Oregon. All right, 13 seconds left. Nice tackle by the Beavers now, down to the 30-yard line. Let's see if the Ducks can get into field goal range or get some kind of unexpected big touchdown here before half. Highly doubt. I mean, we don't got enough time. We only got 8 seconds left, so I'm not sure if they're just going to down it and go into halftime and be comfortable with a 8-point lead, but at least we're up 22-14 instead of being down 22-14. And I still think that even if we were down like the Beavers are right now, we could still come back and win with our personnel. But I'm glad that we're up, especially on the road. And they're going to kneel it. And we're going into halftime. 22-14, Oregon. I'm going to go check up on Paisley. You guys go get some snacks and whatnot. 17-13 Cougs at halftime. So we got one upset alert where the Cougs are up by 4 on the road. Obviously, they're in Seattle against the Huskies. And then we got a 22-14 lead with the Ducks. So you guys go get some snacks, make a sandwich, do what you got to do. I'm going to check up on Paisley. And then we'll be back here in just a couple minutes for the second half. All right, I'm back. Captain, I'm watching the Apple Cup at the same time right now. I got it on here in the studio, so yeah, very surprised that Will Rogers looks good, but again, the defense for the Huskies, not really putting on the performance that I think a lot of Husky fans thought they were going to get, being at home and not in Pullman. Because we know the Cougs are one of those teams that whether they play at home or on the road, they're sneaky good. Kind of like the Beavers. And that's why I really feel that both of them should have got the invite to the Big Ten and whatnot. They thought they wouldn't be able to make enough money and whatnot. But, I think that those two schools are extremely underrated. And I think that they would be right there in the middle of the pack with like UCLA, as far as Big Ten teams are concerned. They would be better than a lot of the bottom feeders in the Big Ten. So NC State. Now, our defense hasn't looked very good either. But, we're up by 8. But, again, the college football is one of those things, you hope for the best. And you hope that, you get your players to be able to attack the football, at that right moment. But, when you end up having a rivalry game, Apple Cup, Civil War, we normally play this game at the end of the year, last game before we go into the Pac-12 championship if you're eligible, or a bowl game. So to play it, I guess, the third game of the season early when the weather is good, not bad, is weird. Because normally it's like snowing in the Apple Cup or the weather is shitty. And then Oregon State sometimes is cloudy or overcast, and it's a kind of a different type of vibe, at that point of the season. All the buildup getting up to that point, instead of just being like, here you go, week number 3, one team is in the Big Ten, the other's in the, the Pac-2, which is now the Pac-6. That'll be the Pac-12, right? So, but hopefully the Huskies can make the adjustments, because I know you and Reflect are big Husky fans, and hopefully you guys can, turn it around and win the game. You're only down by 4, but again, that, 4 points is a lot, especially if you can't get to the quarterback. And Mattia obviously has got some athleticism with his legs and his arm. He's got a kind of a Aaron Rodgers sidearm approach. Mattia, 12 for 24, but he's got 7 rushes for 44 yards and 2 TDs on the ground as a quarterback. I don't think you guys expected that one bit. So, but hopefully it gets a little bit better for you. And I'm feeling a little bit better, than I did yesterday and the day before. So depending on when this game ends, I'll take Paisley for a walk, and then I might end up, doing the Mariner game. Obviously the views are a little bit lower than I anticipated, as well as the donos and the shares and the overall vibe. So anytime that usually happens, I have to make up for it. So we'll probably end up doing the Mariners tonight. Like I said, if we ended up hitting like good numbers on this, even though it's an early stream, then I probably would have, maybe thought about taking, tonight off. But I'm thinking that I'll probably watch the Lions and Bucks, and I probably won't stream it, but I haven't decided that yet. But so there might be a Lions Bucks stream at 10 a.m., maybe not. Then I got to do a couple reaction videos in the afternoon, but we will be doing for sure tomorrow night, the Bears and the Texans on Sunday Night Football. So kind of just depends if I want to be able to do 2 streams and 2 streams. I don't want to burn myself out, but again, I need to be able to make up for the slow start with this particular stream. So, and luckily we have the last game of the night tonight at 6:40. So that still will give me enough time to rest my voice, spend time with Paisley. And then tonight's matchup, after that amazing game last night, we got Scherzer and Gilbert on the mound. So that's intriguing enough to try to push, even if I don't feel 100%, to possibly do that game. So all right, man. Good luck to you too. I hope you guys come back and win. And more than likely, I'll end up doing the Mariner stream tonight. So. Oh, it's all good, bro. Amazing game yesterday, though. We had a 4-1 lead, in the first game, and then we ended up, losing the game 5-4, and that was depressing as shit. Then we were down 4-0 yesterday. I had a bad stomach bug, and I still pushed through. We got great dono support. I think we hit 125. We're flubbed with a hundo, and then we ended up having Julio Rodriguez with a big 3-run blast at the end of the game for us to be able to win 5-4, which was amazing. Julio went 4 for 5, and it was probably one of the best games that I've seen, with all things considered, me being under the weather and still pushing through, and not only getting a good dono goal, but we also ended up getting that big win with Julio. So Ryan Williams at 17 years old for Alabama is ridiculous. High school people can't guard him. College people can't guard him. You know you're damn good is when you're 17 and you're on Alabama and no one can stop you. That's wild. Maybe he'll be another like Devontae Smith type of guy. 42-10 against Wisconsin. But Wisconsin lost their quarterback right out of the gates, and you already knew Wisconsin was going to get the ass kicked on that game. I watched a little bit of that in the morning, because obviously I love Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. To me, they are the best duo in sports. Like, there's a lot of duos that are good, Jim Nantz and Romo, and there'll be others that are out there, but they're not the same as Gus and Joel. Those are my favorite to listen to by far. I think Nantz has the, great ability, like Gus, but, I think Joel, as far as like color, he's one of the best color guys, not just in college football, but overall. Those guys are sweet. Joel's super intelligent too, just like Gus. Yeah, it depends on recruiting. No Saban there. But with DeBoer, if Alabama can keep continuing, to be a top 10 team, they're not going to beat Georgia or Ohio State anymore. But as long as Michigan and Alabama, after losing their head coaches, Harbaugh and Saban, if they can still kind of stay afloat and be like the second place team in the division, or if they can still be relevant and go like 10-2, they're still going to get pieces that want to go to Alabama. It's like, it's not going to have the same aura and vibe as Nick Saban or Harbaugh, but the history of Alabama football and Michigan football will never die. So again, I don't think that those two teams are ever going to fall off. The coaches will change, and they're never going to be good as Harbaugh or Saban, but I don't think they're going to drop off to the point where they're top 20 teams instead of top 15 or top 10 teams. I don't think it'll ever get that bad. So still a big destination for people, because they know if you go to this school, you're going to get looks by the NFL and you're going to go pro. So, and again, if Alabama can keep staying up towards the top with and obviously Bama has probably a better chance than Michigan. Michigan will drop off a little bit with recruiting, but Alabama in the South, if your kid can't go to Georgia, and that's the most ideal spot to make the NFL. But, even though the coaching change is different, people still are clamoring to go to Alabama. So, yeah, I like Milroe too. $5 holla. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. You want some Oscar photos? $5, 95 to go. Appreciate you. Right. Well, college basketball is going to be a little bit different because there's not very many good college basketball coaches in general. There's more coaches on the college football side that have more depth and knowledge to be elite than there is on college basketball. So, but I see what you're saying, though. Let's see if we can get some photos here. Emmanuel Acho is the most cringiest person on planet Earth. Annoying. Fake and annoying. I'm sick and tired of people that are fake and annoying like that, man. It's like nobody gives a shit if you played a couple years. Just because you played a couple years professionally doesn't mean you're going to be good on the mic or anyone cares what you have to say. A lot of clowns on FS1. They think that, ESPN might be dead, but again, if you go and watch a lot of podcasting and people that do announcing for play-by-play in color, or just talk in the pregame or postgame, or end up just bantering. Everyone is just dog shit. Nobody's good anymore. It's terrible. I mean, it's good for people like me, obviously, being here on, YouTube and whatnot, because you're going to get actually more entertaining people, on YouTube than you're going to get on what you see now, through on TV and podcasts, which is, I guess, good and bad. I mean, if you're looking to watch some shit on TV, good luck, but I don't see ESPN ever being good again. And, and I think the era of people arguing, that shit is over. As lame takes where you are told by a producer on how to feel and what to say, even if you don't believe it. And so then people get all worked up, based on all of these fake takes that don't even really reflect on what the person actually thinks. Like, why even say it then? Everything is just so goddamn fake nowadays. Like, people would rather have like the truth, instead of saying the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl every year. Like, give us something else, something that actually has some substance, some stats and analytics to back what you're talking, instead of just talking out of your ass, or just representing the former team that you played on, or you're rooting for, Stupid. Oh, LaShawn McCoy is fucking terrible. Bro, he is garbage. LaShawn is one of the dumbest motherfuckers. I'm sorry, bro. You're an Eagle fan and all, but that motherfucker is stupid. Dude, he is not good. Bro, that motherfucker is like one of the most biased motherfuckers I've ever heard. Unintelligent. Bro, he is terrible. You couldn't pay me to watch him talk. Him and Emmanuel Acho could go on a fucking island and live together. Both of those guys are fucking terrible. Terrible. And some of the takes he may believe, and others he's just doing it to work up the audience. You know what I mean? But those guys are not well spoken. They don't have good opinions, and a lot of the opinions and shit they say seems fake and scripted. So, but again, he's a guy that was on the Eagles, so you can always root. But remember, just because someone played on your team doesn't mean that they're gonna be good on the microphone. Terrible, brother. Shady is fucking terrible. And we're not talking Slim Shady. We're talking Shady McCoy. But hell, man, if you enjoy listening to him, I mean, good for you, bro. But you'll never catch me going out of my way to listen to some shit like that. I got a lot of better things to do in my time than listen to horrible takes that they don't even believe in. Or if they do believe in, that makes it even worse. Appreciate you. We're at 5:95 to go. Yeah, but again, that's a special group, where you have Ernie and you have Kenny and you have Shaq and you have Charles. It's like you're not going to be able to get a group like that actually likes each other and that actually is good, that they speak the truth and they don't really have. I mean, every once in a while you're going to get Barkley with an opinion or Shaq with an opinion and they may not agree. You know what I mean? But you actually feel like a majority of the show is more genuine than not. And people can see it. People can tell when shit is fake and when it isn't. But there's a lot of fake people and a lot of fake fans that are out there. So, of course, they gravitate towards other fake people because they feel like they're the same. They're fake. They're watching people that are fake. They have terrible takes, terrible predictions, and then you wonder why so many people are goddamn stupid in sports because they're listening to the wrong fucking people and they can never make their own decisions and opinions. They're listening to dumbasses and they became more dumb. So... yeah, Skip is garbage too. Stephen A is garbage. These guys aren't even like sports experts. They're just entertainers. It's like being a guy in wrestling on the microphone. It's like these guys are terrible. You couldn't pay me to listen to those guys either. Like, if someone said, hey, I'll pay you $100 to listen to their 1 hour, 2 hour show and you can react to it or watch it, still wouldn't do it. Like I said, I can't even watch Good Morning Football or even Pat McAfee anymore. Those were the last two that I kind of liked. but they could do a test based on the study on after losing Kay and Nate and then having McCourty and then losing him because he didn't want to move to California. And now looking at the host of Good Morning Football and to what it was a couple years ago to what it is now, it's almost unwatchable. I love the NFL, but it's like I can't even really watch it and enjoy that show anymore with those cast members. It's not good compared to what it was. And even with McCourty there, it was a drop-off from Nate and Kay, but then you kind of got used to it. But then now to have to get rid of McCourty after people were finally kind of settling in on him, and then you go with another brother that's even worse. All right. Nate got promoted because he was the fucking best, and then he went to CBS, and they booted out Kay. She was a hater towards Will Selva. She's got her own little show, Up and Adams, but nobody fucking watches unless you're watching to drool over her, but you don't really care about her sports takes. Incredibly biased over the Bears and Saints. But again, if you treat people like shit, they will not keep you. And they gave her the boot and brought in Jamie Erdahl. And then with Pat, again, the show ended up going with ESPN. So it's like filtered down. And I don't really enjoy that show as much anymore either. Like every once in a while, I'll tune in to 10 or 15 minutes of Good Morning Football or Pat McAfee show. But I will never watch 2 to 3 hours straight like I used to every day. And I kind of miss it. I miss having that routine of watching, Good Morning Football for 2 or 3 hours and then Pat McAfee for 2 or 3 hours a day. But it's just gotten to the point where they have so many like skits and like bullshit things that they talk about, like what the players are wearing. I don't give a fuck that you think this person is stylish with their fucking retarded plaid bullshit with like dots on it. Like, can't we come up with something better than that bullshit? I don't know. I just feel like let's talk about more stats and analytics instead of like how they're dressed. I think those are stupid filler moments, but I guess some people like that shit, but I think it's stupid. You could always do that on a separate show. But, football fans want more than just like, oh, look at this guy fucking wearing this outfit. Like, who gives a fuck? It's stupid. Bayless is garbage, just like Stephen A. There's a lot of people that are garbage out there. Judah in the building. What's good? He's not garbage. That's my boy. Yeah, but that's never going to be duplicated ever again. Like Ernie, Shaq, Kenny, and Charles, they should have got the TNT NBA deal. They should have had it there. But you're never going to find a 4 like that. It's like pretty much with, Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt, Nate Burleson and Kay Adams. You're never going to replicate that. That was the best it was ever going to be, and it's never going to be like that ever again. And really, the only person that's worth watching on that show anymore is Brandt for angry runs. And other than that, everything else is kind of like, if you miss it, it's not a big deal. Oh, yeah. Of course Shannon did. 22-14 Ducks. Weber. Yeah. Well, Weber has some intelligence. He's not an idiot. But obviously the beefing that Shaq and Barkley had, where Barkley ended up getting the basketball and then hammering it over Shaq's head, they actually had some natural beef, but then they got past it. And I think that's what makes that dynamic better than the Weber, because obviously Weber had some moments with Barkley and Shaq as well. But, obviously Barkley and Shaq are bigger names than Weber, and they were better players than Weber too. So sometimes you just have to find that right dynamic with the right host. All right, 22-14. Ducks, let's go, baby. We're at 5:95 to go. Thank you, DX. I appreciate you. The last thing that we want is to get a donut on any stream that we do. So even if it's $1, $2, $5, $10, anything is better than nothing. Especially if, your boy had the stomach flu and stomach bug and I'm grinding away still. So Doug Collins, yeah, Doug was good. I just miss people that are intelligent, There's like, when's the last time you had people that actually had like nice, soothing voices that were actually smart, But again, the whole like debating in sports is over. That era in sports talk is over. Like, let's scream and yell at each other over takes that we don't even believe in. Like, that type of era of sports talk is over, but they're too stupid to realize that. And again, FS1, ESPN, and a lot of these networks, they don't understand the pulse of what's going on in the sports world with the younger kids, the younger generation, the millennials, and the boomers. Like, things change over the years. It's like, NFL used to be a running league. Now it's a passing league. Like, everyone is stuck in the past instead of moving forward. All right, Beavers kick off to the Ducks here, baby. Let's go. discussion and analysis more than hot takes. That, you know, and that's why I like stats and analytics the most, because, you know, that's what I do is I read 4 to 6 hours a day and watch film. And, you know, people want to be able to hear the truth, not just someone's bullshit hot take because it's their favorite team or their producer said, hey, the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl every year, even though you don't believe it. And we'll get people to argue with you and comment on social media because it'll get them triggered. Like, you know, but again, most people, they end up falling for it, you know, and then they engage in that shit, you know, because they're fucking stupid. Let's go Ducks. Local sports talk. Yes, I agree. Local will be better too. Jordan James hit him with the spin cycle there. Whirlpool, watch them close twice. Almost a first down. Second down and 1, 9-yard game there by Jordan James. Like that. No offensive penalties for Oregon. That's beautiful. First time that's happened all season. So that's one positive for the Oregon Ducks in the first half. No penalties for the offense. Shotgun set. Gabriel. Keeper. Late throw. Nice catch. First down, Ducks. Herbert, Justin's brother. Patrick with the catch and a short gain. Move the chains. You know, and it hurts, dude. I wish that I could watch Pat McAfee show every day and enjoy it like when he first came out. And I wish I could watch, you know, Good Morning Football every day and get excited about it every morning like I used to. But, you know, it's not the same anymore. You get better content for your local people or on YouTube with people, you know, covering sports like me and others. More entertaining, you know. But again, not everyone on YouTube is genuine and real. There's a lot of fakes that are on YouTube as well. First down, Ducks. Evan Stewart with a nice catch. 17-13 Cougs in the Apple Cup. Cougs up by 4 on the Huskies. Will Rogers, the third, he needs to step up. Yeah, and the only reason Skip and Shannon was good is because of Shannon, because he was real and genuine. Skip was the one that would just argue, and Shannon would have to put him in his place. So it's like you get a loud, fake person with horrible takes going against someone that is the voice of reason that's more real and genuine, you know, and that's why it worked out, you know. Skip would say something stupid, Shannon says, you're an idiot, and then they would go that route, you know. And Skip thought he was better than Shannon, and then he figured out that he wasn't. Run up the gut. Short game. Second down and 8. On the Oregon State 31. Shotgun set. 5 wide. Empty. Gabriel. Got a lot of time in the pocket. Tez Johnson. First down, Ducks. And there's a reason why Tez got on the thumbnail over Gabriel today. Let's go. First down, Oregon. Well, they both fell off, you know, when they weren't with each other. Stephen A. and Skip were like each other. Just one was Caucasian and one was a brother. You know, both loved to argue, you know. Gabriel bouncing it to the outside, out of bounds. But, you know, sometimes you need that other person to be successful, you know, and then when you end up having a show with two and you split up, normally it ends up not being as good. You know, usually the replacement person that they pair you up with is nowhere near as good as the original. Come on, Ducks. 22-14, we're in the red zone. Second down and 10 on the Oregon State 11. Gabriel, check down. Ooh, helmet to helmet there. Wow. Jordan James and an Oregon State defender clash helmets. CTE incoming. God damn. He lowers his head and they pop the shit out of each other. I'm surprised both of them stood up. Wow. Agreed. Third down and 6. Come on, Ducks. Shotgun set. Gabriel, he's open. Oh, shitty throw on the outside. If Tez would have gotten a good throw, that would have been an easy walk-in touchdown. Missed opportunity there by Dylan Gabriel on trips right. Come on, Gabriel. That's got to be a better throw. No pressure. What kind of fucking throw is that? Christ. If he was a righty, that would have been right on the money, but he's a lefty. And again, when you're throwing to that side of the field, sometimes that's what happens. Damn it. Atticus Sappington with the field goal attempt should be money here. 2 for 3 on the season. 25-yard attempt from the left hash. 4th down and 6. Kick is up by Atticus. And it's good. 25-14, Oregon. Me too. I miss Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. I miss Madden and Summerall. I miss Keith Jackson doing Pac-10, Pac-12. Back in the day. I don't know. I miss a lot. Dave Niehaus, Vince Scully, Harry Carey. I just miss the old school era in the 80s and 90s. Everything was better in the 80s and 90s compared to what it is now. The jerseys, the personalities, the music, the TV shows, the cartoons, the wrestlers, the athletes, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, WWF, WCW, ECW. I mean, there's not a lot that's better now than what it was in the 80s and 90s. 25-14, Ducks. We'll take the 3. Let's go. We're winning today. There's no question about that. Yeah, smash that like button. Help your boy out. And hopefully we'll get a few more. I'm actually surprised a little bit. I figured we'd have more people than what we have had. But again, being on at 12:30 will do that. If there's anybody in the room that hasn't smashed the like button yet, if you could do that for me, that would be great. We only need 5 more to at least get to 20. And that's the bare minimum on any stream that we do. So hopefully as the stream goes along and we get a few more people hopping in to say hello. But based on, the views and the numbers, I'm probably going to do the Mariner game tonight. I mean, if I had a choice to be able to take the rest of the day off and spend it with Paisley, I probably would go that route. But I do like to grind. And, we got Scherzer and Gilbert tonight. So I'll have at least a couple hours I can spend with Paisley, and then I got to make a thumbnail, and then we'll probably do the Mariner game tonight. Thank you, Judah. I appreciate that. Every like matters. And also, I get it. Not every NFL fan loves college football. There's a few of us that, love college football on that highest level. Sometimes college football is even better than the NFL, depending on who's playing. And also it depends if you have a attachment to any college team like you do to your NFL team. Some people do, some people don't. I guess it just depends on where you live and how long you've been rooting for. So. (25-14) Oregon. 10:25 left in the third quarter. Atticus Sappington with a 25-yard field goal. And AP top 25, Ohio State 3, Penn State 8, Oregon 9, USC 11, Michigan 17, Nebraska 23. And we're at 5:95 to go. Oregon State takes it out of the end zone 5 yards deep. Get him. Big hit. Dante Manning with the big blast. Great special teams tackle. Yeah, should have stayed in the end zone and took a knee. Blocked field goal, TD, punt, TD. First half possessions for the Beavers. things would be much different if Jonathan Smith never left to Michigan State. Then Damian Martinez, that star running back, would still be there, and their team would be much better than what it is now. But when you get, everyone to leave your team because you're in the Pac-2 when it used to be the Pac-12, I mean, I get it. You want to look out for yourself. But at least Oregon State started off 2-0, even after all the turmoil. I don't think a lot of Beaver fans thought that was going to happen, regardless who they played. So good for them, to come out of the gates with a 2-0 record, like the Ducks. 2nd down and 7 on the Oregon State 18. Under center. Fumble! Ball's loose. Did we get it? Oh, Oregon State just got on top of it. I was about to say, is that our turnover that I've been waiting for? Third down and 7. Man in motion. Shotgun set on the Oregon State 18. Pressure coming. Short of the line of gain. 4th down. Good defense by Oregon. There we go. Not giving up a 3 or a touchdown right out of the gates. And then if we can get another touchdown or field goal here, make it 28-14 or possibly 32-14, then there's no looking back. Especially if we get the touchdown. Field goal, they're still in it because they're only down by 2 tutties. But if you get a touchdown here and make it, 32-14, they're not coming back based on how we're playing. And the time left. Ooh, almost blocked off that punt. Don't drop it, Tez. Tez going backwards about 10 yards. Now reversing field. Spin move, nowhere to go. Don't fumble it. 17-16 in the Apple Cup. Huskies down by 1 now. All right, Ducks, your turn. Damn, Florida State 0-3. There's a lot of people that have it much worse than us. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of shifting. I wouldn't be surprised if Soto goes to the Dodgers either, even though I know that he's having a good time there with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. But if he's only there for like a year, I could definitely see Soto hopping ship and going to the Dodgers. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. .8:14 left here in the third quarter. 25-14 Oregon. Apple Cup. Cougars up 17-16 on the road in Seattle. And they take a big sack lunch by the Huskies right there. Shotgun set, trips right, handoff up the middle. Short game. Noah Whittington with the short game there. Four-yard gain by Noah Whittington, 2nd down and 6. Ball on the Oregon 29. Shotgun set for Gabriel, trips left. Tez Johnson is there. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. Nice job, Tez. Man, Cougs are giving it to the Huskies here today. Wow. Big, long run. Cougs on the hunt again. Wow. Big win for the Cougs if they can find a way to win against the Huskies. And if the Huskies end up losing, that would be not good for them this early in the season, but it is against their rival. 2nd down and 7. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7 on the Oregon 41. Shotgun set. Play action. Oh, handoff to Whittington. Bouncing it to the outside. There we go. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. Let's go. Nice job, Noah. First down and 10 at the Oregon 39. Trips right. Shotgun set for Gabriel. Handoff with a draw. Whittington is there. Short gain. Gain of a couple. Uh-oh, Cougs. Touchdown, Cougars. Wow, 23-16, Washington State. Uh-oh. Captain Oreo and Reflect are not going to be happy. 2nd down and 6 on the Oregon State 35. Shotgun set. Gabriel. Come on, Tez. What happened to my hands? Got to catch that, Tez. 3rd down and 6. Yeah, that wasn't the best throw, but it did hit his hands, though. That's why, Gabriel is going to be throwing more of a shot put attempt like Tebow, rather than a smooth pass like Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. 3rd down and 6 on the Oregon State 35. Come on, Ducks. Trips right. Shotgun set. Oh, offsides by the Beavers. Free play. Go deep. What a catch by Tez Johnson. First down, Ducks. Let's go. We're about to score a touchdown again. Hell yeah. That's how you make up for that. Offsides on the defense. Penalty is decline. We'll take that first down. In the neutral zone, great snap count there. Gabriel, knowing that it's a free play. Tez says, I'm going to break you off. Look at that route that he ran. He gets held the whole way, PI all the way, and he still comes up with it. Great job by Tez. Handoff. Jordan James, the Bruiser back. Wow. Flips into the end zone. Down to the 1. Wow. How did he get out of there? Like shut out like a cannon after he got initially hit and then jumped forward like 3 yards. Wow. He pumped those legs. Pump those legs. He actually might have got in there. They might need to review that, but they're just going to do it again. the touchdown. Touchdown, Oregon. I mean, we don't need to review it on the previous play. Just give them the ball again. They're not going to stop it. There we go. I don't want to say the game is officially over, but we're not giving up this lead. So again, the Beavers needed to hold us to more field goals here in the second half, and we're gonna definitely be pacing, for the high 40s. You would assume we probably got at least another touchdown or field goal or a couple of touchdowns left before the game is up. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Go Ducks. 31-14. We're about to go to 3-0. Good shit. And this is the best that we've looked all year. Again, Oregon State 2-0. We've played Idaho. Should have played better. Played Boise State, who's a good team with the best running back in the country. Took us to the very end of the game to beat them, but we did. And now we're beating the brakes off of Oregon State, which we should. So, again, extra point from Atticus Sappington on the way. And hopefully we can end up hitting the high 40s or 50 to really make our mark. If we can end up winning this game like 49-17 or 49-20 or 49-21 or 48-21, that would be ideal. To let all the voters know that, we're still here. We were overrated based off our ranking being third, and then we won and went down to 7, won again and went down to 9. But now we need to start getting to a point where we start climbing the rankings when we win, not going backwards when we win, right? And it's nice to be able to see the Oregon football, even though it hasn't been perfect, but we didn't have any penalties on the offensive line in the first half, which was good. We got the defense was kind of mismanaged and we didn't really tackle well, so to speak, in the first half, but we had the lead. We didn't give up any really big plays. All they can do is screen passes, crossing routes, and slants. Nothing big over the top. And we got a nice, comfortable 32-14 lead, and we're not done. We could still end up scoring, another 14 to 20 points before the game is up. I think the maximum we would score would probably be, 50, 52, but it might end up being in the high 40s. But again, I want us to keep going. Get a couple more touchdowns and a field goal would be ideal. So if we get, 17 more, 2 more touchdowns and a field goal, then that would put us at 49. And they can score a couple more field goals or get a fucking touchdown. I don't care. 49-17, 49-20, a good ass whooping, to get us back on track. Let's go. Hell yeah. And again, when you go for 2, things just look a little bit different. If the score was, 28-14, you still feel like you can come back, but when you start seeing 31-14 or 32, you're already looking up at the scoreboard and you're trying to calculate in your head, how the hell do we come back from that? That's why getting that 2-point conversion with Chip Kelly, early on, when it ends up being 15-7, 15-6, 15-8, 15-3, it's kind of a mind fuck. When you get up 13-0, you still think you're in it, or 14-3. But when you get 15-3 or 15-7 or 15-6, just knowing that you're going to have to make that up at some point. Sometimes the coach's strategy on the team that's losing goes out of whack. And we'll see if they can do anything here in the rest of the third and fourth quarter. Cougs in the Apple Cup up 24-16 on the road. First down, Huskies. First down and 10. Good tackle by the special teams of the Ducks. And we really haven't seen like that big explosive play besides the Dylan Gabriel 54-yard touchdown down the sideline. Not like the Boise State game where we saw special teams touchdowns, deep throws for touchdowns, but the game isn't over yet, so we'll see. 3rd down and 2 for the Huskies. Nice first down by Washington. Imagine, we could be Washington right now being down by 8 with 1:40 and counting and being on our heels. Like, Washington might get beat today. Huskies, are getting kind of pushed around a little bit, and the Cougs are playing like this is their, Super Bowl or Natty. Obviously, when you get matchups like this, obviously the Beavers are going to give us everything that they have. They, even if they lose a bunch of games during the season, if they can beat Oregon, and just like Washington State, if they can beat Washington, their year is made. Regardless of what happens throughout the rest of the year, they want to win as many as possible. But you love beating your rivals. Minnesota and Wisconsin, most games played in FBS. Oregon's number 2, though, with 128, Oregon and Oregon State. Only 5-year difference. Come on, Ducks. Get that defense going. 1st down and 10. 4:29 left in the 3rd. McCoy. And again, all they can do is screen passes, slants, and crossing routes. There's nothing else they can do. They are very predictable right here. There shouldn't be any type of way that they come back. And I think that the offense and defense are a little bit more disciplined, but I'm still waiting for that big punch out or that big fumble or that big pick, kind of to put that signature play to, kind of stomp on them and say, hey, we're here. Hand off up the middle. Good defense there by the Ducks. Tysheem Johnson. 3rd down and 4. But this is a much better performance than we had in week 1 and week 2 up to this point. We just want to make sure we finish strong and don't let them get back into the game. Huskies on 4th down going for their 4th field goal. They didn't anticipate this. Grady cross. Beavers. Deflected. Incomplete. 43-yarder for the Huskies. Kick is up. And it's good. They need that. Wow. 24-19. They've gotten 4 field goals and only 1 touchdown for the Huskies. Not what they were expecting. Now you're down by 5, and it's the end of the 3rd quarter. Whoever wins the 4th is going to win the Apple Cup. Wow. Imagine if that was the Ducks right now, and if we were down 24-19 going into the 4th quarter. Fuck, we might lose. Beavers are about to punt. Has Johnson waiting for the return. Let it bounce. There you go. And I kind of had a feeling that we were going to play much better than in week 1 and week 2. It's just a matter of time, before we gain our bearings, and they coach them up so hard, that it's Oregon versus Oregon. As long as we don't make a lot of those errors on ourselves, that we should be able to get 30, 40, 50 points pretty frequently, and again, the defense is the strong suit. Offense has had to catch up a little bit, but the offensive line has played much better today than in the first 2 games. All right, baby, here we go. Let's pour it on. 1st down and 10, 32-14 Ducks. And again, when you end up having the lead in the second half in the NFL or college football, what do you typically do? You run the football to bleed the clock. Now, you're still going to have to throw the football for some key first downs, even if you're a throwing team. But we are firm in control in this matchup on the road in Corvallis against the Beavs. Love it. All my Beaver friends have not messaged me one bit, but I haven't messaged them either, so I don't need to rub it in. This is a game that we should have won. There we go, Jordan James. Run over his ass. There we go. 1st down, Ducks. Oregon State's getting tired, baby. Let's go, baby. go Ducks. Handoff. Broken tackle. Jordan James getting loose. Spin move. Another one. First down, Ducks. Jordan James. Quack, quack, quack. Let's go, baby. I knew this LaMichael James jersey would be good luck today. It's either this one or the Joey Harrington. There you go. Touchdown, Iowa. What's the score in that game for you guys? I like the play calls by Stein today compared to the first 2 weeks. Play calling has been a lot smoother by Stein. Shotgun set. Little end around, reverse. There you go. Go, go. Nice play. First down, Ducks. Great execution there by Oregon. Gain of 21 there on the reverse. And having Herbert as that blocker right there ended up making that key play and that key block to extend that play to get a few more yards. Nice job. 32-14, Oregon. First down and 10 on the Oregon State 32, and we are driving again. 22-14, Iowa. First down and 10, play action fake. Gabriel, bootleg, rolling to his left, scrambling for his life. Just run. There you go, out of bounds. Gain of a couple. (24-19) in the Apple Cup, and the Cougs have a nice return of 25 yards. Washington does not have an answer. 17-14 Iowa. Okay. I was going to say, how the hell did they get to 22? All right. We're starting to get to the end of the third quarter here. Clock is running down. I'm not sure if they're going to snap the ball. I assume they're just going to wait till the fourth quarter. There we go. Fourth quarter. Yeah, this is exactly what we expected, as Oregon Duck fans. Performances like this. Now, if we would have played like this against Idaho and Boise State, then, maybe we still would be ranked third, fourth, fifth, But again, sometimes you got to play bad, but still win the game and learn from your mistakes and then try to get back on track. But nice job. Again, right now, Washington State 24, Huskies 19. Cougs up by 5, and we're in the fourth quarter. The Cougs can get a little bit of execution in this quarter. They're going to come up with the upset. Going deep and complete. Only 1 touchdown and 4 field goals by the Huskies. 3 touchdowns and 1 field goal by the Cougs. Third down and 4 for the Cougs as we're on a commercial break here. Nice play. God, they're efficient. All right, one more quarter. I would love for us to get to at least 42 before the game ends. At least one more touchdown and a field goal. Now, if we can get 2 touchdowns, to get us to 46, that would be a great, but I'll take a 42 if we can get us a little bit more. Getting into the 40s and holding them to 20 or less, or 21 or less would be great. Washington tried to come back into this game, but they're going to need a play by the defense if they're going to win this game. And they got no answers. Tupotalo with the tackle for the Huskies. Third down. Appreciate that. 3rd down and 7. Good defense by the Huskies. Finally, a big 3rd down stop in front of their home crowd to try to be able to get the ball back and hopefully get their 2nd touchdown of the game so they don't have to go for another field goal. But even if they do, then they will cut it down to 2. And then the next field goal after that would give them the lead. But lots of stress in the Apple Cup right now. Cougs up 24-19, 12:37 left in the 4th quarter. Cougs about to punt with a 5-point lead. And Oregon firmly in control here, up by 18, and we're going to add on to it. All right, 4th quarter, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Still need 5 more likes to get to 20. Hopefully we can get there before the game ends. Whittington, bouncing it to the outside, down the sideline, touchdown, Ducks, baby, let's go. Hell yeah, this one is over. It's like I told y'all. You hit 32, this shit is over. Hell yeah. This is the Oregon Ducks that we were thinking we were going to get at the beginning of the year. Hell yeah. There we go. 38-14, Oregon. Last 2 weeks, everyone wanted to talk shit, but they deserved to talk shit because we did not play well. We did play good today, and if we would have played like this right out of the gates, we probably still would be ranked number 3 in the nation. Atticus, Sappington, kick is up, and it's good. 39-14, Oregon. Go Ducks. Hell yeah. Finally, like a full game where we play good on both sides of the ball. Nice running by Gabriel. Nice running by Noah Whittington. Nice running by Jordan James. And, you're getting a little bit, of Tez in there and Evan in there as well as Holden. I like what we're doing today. Offensive line, how many sacks did they allow today? 0. 0 penalties. Let's go. That's how you end up dominating like this, right? You don't give up sacks, right? You don't have any penalties. The offense does a good job, and then this is the result that you get. Where was this the first 2 weeks? We had injuries on the O-line, so that was part of it. But nice to be able to see, the coaching, and to be able to see Dan Lanning really get these guys up for this game and to be able to hold themselves accountable with the penalties and the problems that we had on the O-line. And the O-line is the reason why we're winning the game here today. The lack of penalties and the execution has been flawless from the O-line today. And when they play like this, we win. Tomorrow, Saints, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders, Colts, Packers, Seahawks, Patriots, Bucks, Lions, baby. And then Rams, Cardinals. Let's go. NFL Red Zone. Let's go, baby. 39-14, Ducks. Nice throw. Nice catch. Second down and 1. I mean, if Oregon can play like this today against a good chunk of the opponents in the Big Ten, there's a chance that we could finish in the top 3, where it might be like Ohio State, USC, Oregon, and then Penn State's right there with Oregon, where we're battling for like that 3rd spot. Or maybe we can even get up to a point where we're the 2nd team. But obviously Ohio State is the best. But, after that, USC, Oregon, and Penn State are going to be right there battling for 2nd. Who's going to be the 2nd best team in the Big Ten? If Oregon plays like this, we're going to have a shot, to be able to compete for that 2nd spot with USC and Penn State. But again, if we play like we did in the first 2 weeks, then we're going to be like the 4th best team, and we're going to be like 8-4, 9-3. But based on how we're playing today, we might be able to finish 10-2, the rest of the way, right? Nice job, Oregon. David in the building. What's good, brother? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. And I should be doing the Mariner game later tonight as well. I'll be a little bit tired. I've been under the weather the last couple days, but I pushed last night. We got that big Julio home run to get us the dub after being down 4-0. We won 5-4. So sometimes you got to push. And I want to spend time with Paisley as well. But I think we're going to end up doing the Mariner game as this ends here relatively quickly. I can make a thumbnail, spend time with Paisley for a little bit, and then we'll be live at 6:30 Pacific. And then we'll do the Mariner game tonight. And then I'll probably just watch the Bucks and Lions game. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a live stream for that. I'll probably just watch it and watch Red Zone and do a reaction video afterwards. And then we'll do the Bears and the the Bears and the Texans. Caleb Williams versus CJ Stroud on Sunday Night Football. Thank you, David. I appreciate you. Pass almost intercepted by the Ducks on 3rd and 7. Good defense there. Then we got Falcons and Eagles on Monday night. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We only need a few more likes to get to 20. Obviously, the audience is a little bit smaller because the game started at 12:30 instead of being on at like 7 p.m. So if you are just hopping into the room, do your boy a solid. Smash that like button. We're at 15. We just need to get to 20. We're probably not going to be able to get to 30. We don't have enough time. But again, 4 more likes to get to 20 would be great. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, David. (39-14) Oregon. And we're at 5:95 to go. And right now, the Huskies are being threatened mightily by the Cougs in the Apple Cup. We'll see what happens in that matchup as well. 4 more likes to hit 20. 95 to go on the dono goal. Let's go, baby. Now at this point in the game, it's like we're ahead by so much. We can just run the ball, bleed the clock out. That way I have more time to be able to rest for this Mariner matchup here pretty soon. $12:25 left in the 4th quarter, 39-14 Ducks, baby. Really, really happy with the execution. And, I did have a feeling that we were going to blow them out today. That we were going to actually show that, we are worth a top 10 ranking, being number 3 and then winning barely against Idaho and then moving down to 7 and then beating Boise State barely and then moving down to 9. It's like one of the first times in college football history that you can go 2-0 and you're going down in the rankings twice. But again, now we kind of flatline And now we're starting to be able to play better on the offensive line, less penalties, better execution. And now we're getting that big blowout win in week number 3 against our rival, the Beavers, in the Civil War. And then now we should be able to steadily go back up. And hopefully we can get back up to that number 3 spot before the season ends at some point or another. I don't know if we will, but we definitely will be somewhere between 3 and 10 all year. It's just a matter of, you know, who we play and who we win and how many places that we drop down. So LaMichael James, baby. Him and LeGarrette Blount. I remember that. Love me some LaMichael. My favorite running back in Ducks history. No question. Love LaMichael. Love DeAnthony. Herbert. Mariota. Nix. Pelodinata. Joe Arrington. First down and 10. Trips left with the shift. Gabriel, hands off. Run up the gut to bleed the clock. Cougs up 24-19 against the Huskies on the road in Seattle. 1 touchdown and 4 field goals by the Huskies, and I know that Reflect and Captain Oreo are sweating out right now. They are really worried. Both teams are 2-0 as well. Nice screen pass. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. There's a flag on the play, though. Hold on Ferguson. That's coming back. 10-yard penalty with the illegal block. It's coming back. Pick 6, Iowa. Hell yeah. There you go. Nebraska's good. You know, they end up having your, Patrick Mahomes clone at quarterback, like the number 1 rated high school quarterback. So Raiola, when you see him play, he's the real deal. Nebraska actually is relevant finally after years and years and years. Gabriel, like Nebraska's going to be a top 25 team all year, more than likely. So nice catch by Des Johnson. I mean, if that's what it takes to, dress up as Patrick Mahomes and have the same type of hair and number and sunglasses, and you're trying to pretend to be him and you play like him, so be it. Do you? If that's where you want to go, It's the first time Nebraska's been relevant in fucking like 20 years, so I'm happy for him. Play action fake. Gabriel. Ooh, almost picked off. Incomplete. Good coverage there by the Beavers. Evan Stewart, the intended receiver. That's a great factoid right there. You don't really see names with like that, the last name. So if you can remember that, or you've seen a graphic with that stat, it's always cool to be able to see the father-son combos. Throw off that little slant crossing route. Should have been caught. What happened to my hands? Dylan Gabriel putting it right on the money. Come on now. We need to be running the football and bleeding the clock. And if we're going to be throwing the football over the middle, you got to catch that fucking ball. Giving a little bit of momentum back to the Beavers. Come on now. The Beaver fan base already knows it's over, but we want to make sure that we're still moving the chains. We don't want to just have a shitty fourth quarter and then let them get, back into the game and having them score like 24 to 28 points and we only win by 10 or 11. Screen pass. There we go. There we go. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Oregon. Jaden Lamar. Just when you think the game is in reach for the Beavers, not so fast. Screen pass. Goodbye. Touchdown, Ducks. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at the offensive line blockage down there. That was the tunnel screen. That was sweet, dude. Jaden Lamar, 65 yards with the screen on the tunnel. There we go, baby. Extra point is up by Atticus Sappington, and it's good. 45-14, beating the brakes off the Beavers. You know, no chance for them to be able to win this, even though they're at home, thinking that we were going to play like we did in week 1 or week number 2. This is what we expected and college football fans expected from us in week 1 and week number 2. You just had to wait until week number 3 to get the real Oregon Ducks. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Will the real Oregon Ducks please stand up? And we did today. Hell yeah. Good shit, man. Intercepted by the Huskies. Big interception in the fourth quarter, down by 5. Wow. And a game-changing play with momentum. Now the Huskies have the ball back with 8:14 left in the fourth quarter. Can they score a touchdown to beat the Cougs in the Apple Cup? Wow. Boom, shakalaka. Dylan Gabriel to Jaden Lamar for 65 yards with a little tunnel screen with 4 blockers ahead of him. That was beautiful, man. I love it. My Beaver friends have not contacted me. I have a feeling why. They probably thought that, you know, the version of the Ducks that they saw in week 1 and week 2, that they would get that here. And then if the Beavers could get lucky early on, that they might have a chance to win, but not so fast. Not so fast. 46-14. They might not even get to 20 by the time the game ends. That would be awesome. 53-14 or 53-17 final would be great. One more tutty or one more field goal. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got a stomach bug, and I'm still not really feeling that good. But again, I don't think I will be doing the Lions and Bucks. I think I probably just want to enjoy that with Red Zone in the morning with Paisley. If I'm going to be doing 2 today, you know, and then we'll do the Sunday night football, or hopefully so that way I can feel a little bit better, and then we'll go from there. And then hopefully we'll get a few more people to show up for the Mariner game, which I know we will, because it'll be later in the evening, and we'll get somewhere between 700 and 1,500 views, and hopefully we hit 100 in the donos, and we get some likes and shares and some new subs to the channel, and hopefully the Mariners beat the Rangers. All right, Ducks kick off. 10:43 left here in the fourth quarter. Great performance today. We were a little shaky on with tackling, but again, the offensive line, it shows you, it all goes through them. You know, and again, if the offensive line plays well, they block well, run block, pass block, protect, don't get dumbass penalties, and this is what could happen for our team in the Big Ten. You know, we play like this, you know, we can match up against almost anybody in the Big Ten. But that's the question. Can we play like this against, you know, like USC and the Penn States and the Ohio States? We'll have to wait and see. Let's go Ducks. We play like this, though, you know, you can end up going, you know, second place behind Ohio State. We can be right there with USC, right there with Penn State, maybe go 10-2, you know, but again, if we played like we did in week 1 and week 2, then you're going to go 8-4, 9-3. So if we can clean up those mistakes and we, you know, have that better protection up front, you know, why not? You know, why can't we, you know, go 10-2, or I'm not sure if we can go 11-1 and just only lose to Ohio State, but if we play like this, it is possible. Like beat everybody but maybe Ohio State. But we did beat Ohio State in the shoe with no Kayvon Thibodeau a couple years ago, so anything is possible. Shotgun set. McCoy. Throw into the middle. First down, Beavers. Trent Walker with a nice catch. One of the only individuals really doing anything for the Beavs. 24-19, Cougs up by 5, Huskies. 7:37 left on a 2nd and 7. Shotgun set for Will Rogers. Hands off. Go, baby, go. There we go. Big first down. Move the chains. First down, Huskies. Now let's see if the Huskies can actually get a touchdown here, not a field goal. Pressure by the Cougs, incomplete. Come on, Ducks. I'm waiting for that big turnover, that pick six, that fumble, that big turnover. Good defense. Manning says not today. Manning on one side, Jabbar Muhammad on the other. Let's go. 2nd down and 10. Handoff up the middle. Nice tackle right there by the Ducks. Great job. Good form tackle, not to let go. Less than 9 minutes to go. Hopefully this game will kind of wrap up quick so that way I can rest up my voice a little bit, take Paisley for a walk, and then do a thumbnail for the Mariners and the Rangers, and then we get settled in and we'll stream at 6:30 Pacific. Iowa up by 3. Good job. Justin Jacobs with the tackle. Matt's all over it. McCoy. Manning again. And at some point, you know, if you keep running the same plays over and over and over, and you're not going to test us deep, and all you run is crossing routes, you know, post routes, you know, either a deep one or a skinny post. They're not really going deep. It's like everything is, you know, a curl, but it's like a crossing route or a slant or a screen. And it's all like 5 to 10 yards. That's not going to win the game against Oregon, you know? And again, they don't really have a whole lot of time to go for a deep post route or a go route or anything like that. But McCoy, they're throwing it in literally like the same spot almost every fucking play. And I know DJU obviously did pretty good for the Beavers last year, but he's absolutely terrible this year. Florida State 0-3. My God. I guess probably the smart thing to do is after this stream ends would be to make the thumbnail immediately, so that way I don't have to do it later. Back on offense for the Ducks. Let's pour it on. Let's get one more touchdown. 53-14 sounds sexy as hell. Especially how we played in the first couple weeks. You know, this is what me and Matt and every, you know, college football fan, whether you root for the Ducks or a hater, you know, this is what you kind of expected. You know, especially getting a preseason ranking of 3, you know, giving us the excitement that maybe we could actually win the championship this year against like Georgia or Ohio State. But when you start off slow and play bad against Idaho and Fresno State, or excuse me, Boise State, you know, then obviously the perception changes. But then now with this amazing, you know, shellacking and ass whooping on the Beavers on the road, not in Eugene, right? Not in Austin, but in Corvallis. Pretty fucking sweet, man. Feels good. or incompletions for Dylan Gabriel all day. Get the fuck out of here. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's like some Bo Nix stats right there. I love that. You know, and just trying not to be someone that you're not, you know, just being able to get the job done. 8:20 left. Gabriel hands it off. And again, every Duck fan on planet Earth has been waiting for this moment. Dante Moore getting a chance to get in the game. Hell yeah. Our backup getting some time. Transfer from UCLA and Chip Kelly, 6'3" and 210. And it's a nice kind of switch up from going from a lefty to a righty. Here we go. First down, Ducks. Nicole in the building. What's good? No worries. Of course, the game being on at 12:30, I assume that, you know, when we play later matchups in the evening, we'll have a hell of a lot more people. But again, you know, when it ends up being at 12:30, some people are busy, you know, at work, or they got other obligations, shopping, errands. But it's nice that the Ducks ended up coming to play here today. And I'll be streaming again later tonight for the Mariners against the Rangers. Short game. Good defense there by the Beavers. Seven minutes and counting. 46-14 Oregon, baby. Huskies on the brink of losing. 24-19, down by 5 with 5 minutes left on defense. And Reflect and Captain Oreo are really sweating bullets right now, right? 4 field goals and 1 touchdown only with Jonah Coleman. Passes deep down the sideline, and there's the flag. I was about to say, call that. Little PI, baby. We're about to score again. We have played flawlessly today. And again, I wish we would have done that in the first 2 weeks, but sometimes, you know, it takes time, you know, with a brand new roster. No Bo Nix, no Bucky Irving, no Troy Franklin, no Jackson Powers Johnson. So again, you know, a different team, different swag, different, you know, different vibe. Offensive line is the MVP of this game, though, period. You know, everyone has played great, but the offensive line, no penalties, executed perfectly. You know, and again, hopefully the offensive line can watch the tape and be like, this is our standard. We used to play like this every game. And we know it's not going to be that easy, but always nice to be able to beat your rival in the Civil War. Dante Moore, screen pass. Little short game. Go Ducks, baby. Less than 6:30 to go in the fourth quarter, second down and 8. Wow, Huskies with another interception in the fourth quarter. You got to get a fucking touchdown, though. Like every time they get a pick, they don't even get anything off of it. Now this is your last chance, Husky fans, to be able to come back. 2 fourth quarter interceptions. Can you get a touchdown to win the game? 3:52 left in the Apple Cup. Wow. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you're just hopping into the room, do your boy a solid and smash the like button so we can at least get to 20 with limited people in the room. We're at 15. We need 5 more people to get to 20. So if you are just watching, please do your boy a solid. Now we're at 16. We only need 4 more, and then we'll hit the goal for the night with limited views as an early stream. Let's get there, baby. Third down and 8. Shotgun set for Dante Moore, the backup quarterback for the Ducks, transfer from UCLA. And he looks sharp, you know. Again, probably not going to be, you know, as good as Dylan Gabriel, but again, he looks like a very solid backup if Gabriel did have a slight injury that Dante Moore could win a game for us. He's not like, oh, God, Dante Moore's coming in. It's like, yeah, it's okay. Wow, what an interception by the Huskies right there. Oh, my God. Fourth down and 2, and Atticus Tappington going for a long field goal here. No punts for the Oregon Ducks. Fourth down and 2 on the right hash. Atticus Tappington, kick us up. It's got the distance. And it's good. Hell yeah. 49-14 Oregon. Let's go, baby. Go Ducks. Let's go. Beaver fans, I don't know what they expected. If they thought they were going to beat us 49-14 or something of that nature, but maybe if they still had, Jonathan Smith and Damian Martinez at running back, maybe it would have been a little bit closer with some of those recruits. But when you end up, having everyone leave your school and you lose a lot of those recruits and you go from the Pac-12 down to the Pac-2, that was kind of the end of, at least Oregon State. But for Washington State, they're on the brink of beating the Huskies here as they do an official review for that interception to see if he actually got it or if it hit the ground. Oregon 49, Beavers 14. Oh, pass is incomplete. The Huskies do not get the interception. Overturned. Cougs get the ball back. Wow. That could be the difference in the game right here. I mean, obviously they got to hold to a field goal and they're still in it. But if the Cougs score a touchdown here in the last 4 or 5 minutes, the game is done. So, wow. Reflecting Captain Oreo sweating right now. Nice. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a duck sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Terrence Green with the sack lunch. Wearing that 99 like Warren Sapp, baby. Let's go. Big boy. Yeah, O-line and D-line has definitely dominated for Oregon today. Shotgun set, second down and 12. Marker down, flag on the play for McCoy. Holding on the offense. All right, we got UCLA, Michigan State, Ohio State, which could be a loss, Purdue, Illinois, Michigan, Maryland, Wisconsin, Washington. I mean, we literally can win every game, probably besides Ohio State. That might be the one that, based off their talent level and their coaching, with Chip Kelly and Ryan Day, that one, as far as their talent level of NFL players, that one might be a little out of reach, but you never know how Oregon might respond playing up to the competition, but again, if Oregon beats Ohio State, I mean, there is a chance that they could, end up being undefeated or just losing one game. But if we, knowing our luck, if we ended up beating Ohio State, then we would end up dropping a game to a team that we have no business dropping one to. That's kind of the MO. But it looks much better than, potentially at the beginning of the year, maybe being 8-4 or 9-3. Now it looks like if we can play like this the rest of the year out, the worst we're going to be is 10-2. And then the best, undefeated, 12-0, and then 11-1. Obviously, depending on what happens in that Ohio State game. But, again, it kind of depends on how we play. Do we play against those mediocre bottom feeder Big Ten teams like we did in the first 2 weeks? Or do we take care of business against those middle teams and bottom feeders in the Big Ten and play like today against Oregon State? Because if we play like this, we're going to beat the shit out of almost everybody in the Big Ten. So. Pass incomplete. Kraken are going to have a chance to be pretty good this year based on some of the moves, getting rid of Hack, getting a new, coach in there, bringing in some free agents, drafting pretty well. It's still going to be tough when you have to go against Colorado, the Avalanche, and the Stars, Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, it's not going to be easy being in the Western Conference, but, I would assume that the Kraken will make the playoffs within the next 3 years, and it could be as early as this season. So, little short game. Like the Huskies are going to have one last shot to be able to try to come back and win. 2-minute warning. (49-14), Oregon, baby. Johnson going deep. He's got a man, and he caught it. Big play for the Huskies. They're down by 5 with 3:28 left and a big catch. The game is on Peacock if you want to watch along. Apple Cup. Huskies have been getting their ass kicked all game. And a big one-on-one route, gets behind the corner. Big catch, big throw. First down, Huskies. Jackson with the catch. Down to, the 25 or 24-yard line. Wow. That's the play the Huskies needed. Yeah, but based off the roster changes, I think the Kraken will definitely be way more competitive than they were last year. What a catch by Jackson there by the Huskies. First down and 10. Johnson. Keeper. Rogers. Cougars playing better than Oregon State, though, for the two teams that were left in the Pac-2. I mean, they're on the brink of upsetting the Huskies. They're both 2-0. Cougs are on the road, but they're playing like they're the home team. Handoff up the middle. First down, Huskies. Wow. Down to the 8. Huskies score a touchdown, then they'll be up by 2. Cougs will get the ball back maybe with a minute. Maybe they can get a field goal to win. But obviously a field goal doesn't cut it for Washington. Then you're still down by 2 points. So you have to get a touchdown with the last 2 minutes left, period. And then if you get a touchdown, you go up 27-24. And then you just got to pray that your defense comes up with a big enough play. Apple Cup coming down to the wire. Not so much here in the Civil War. Go Ducks. Third down and 4 for McCoy. Screen pass. Tackle him. There you go. Nice tackle by the Ducks. No first down. Fourth down. What a complete game. This is the best complete game I've seen out of Oregon in a minute. Nice job. Fourth down and 3. Reddix is on the sideline holding his wrist. And again, as soon as this is over, I got to take Paisley for a walk. I got to make a thumbnail, and I'll be live at 6:30 Pacific for the Rangers and the Mariners. It'll be a long day, and I'll be tired, but it'll be worth it. Screen, pass incomplete. Now flag on the play. Fourth accepted penalty of the day. Let's go Ducks. Finish strong. 1:16 left. There's 2 minutes above, but it's 1:16. I got, ESPN sometimes is slow. So minute 16 left. First down and 10 for the Beavers. I would love to get an interception here on this drive, and that way we can just kneel it down and end the game. Going to be a lot of angry drunks in Corvallis. All right, the pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage. No pass interference. Good. I'm glad they got that correct. Yeah, 119, 187, 173. That's some amazing stats. First and goal for the Huskies. 2 minutes to go. Down by 5. Shotgun set to Will Rogers. Should have kept it. Good tackle by the Cougs. All right, Ducks with a kneel down. Rogers into the end zone, incomplete. Third and goal. Huskies running out of time. Another kneel down by Dante Moore. And we'll take that win. Best win that we've had all season. That's the way it's supposed to be. Final score, Oregon Ducks 49, Oregon State Beavers 14 in the Civil War. We'll fucking take that electricity, and hopefully we can play like that the rest of the season. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to all the people that liked, subbed, donated, commented, shared. And again, I got to be able to take a little bit of a break and then make a thumbnail now, and then we'll be live at 6:30 Pacific for the Rangers and the Mariners. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang. Go Ducks.